Man, where did you get that
Welcome,
podcast?
welcome to Storm King Thunder, where me and a bunch of my nerdy ass friends get together and we play Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons
Dungeons and
and Dragons.
Dragons with our own dragon, aka Frozen.
Hiya!
uh, Last week on session 14 of our campaign, we had quite a few things happen. You guys wrapped up some business in Nightstone, sent with inspiration from the hella awesome performance by Davos and Oren and Mezzo at the Nightstone Inn. You guys requisitioned some new buildings, made plans for things to be built the entirety of your travel. This way, things would keep rolling. You guys also got quite a bit of news. Davos's sister and mother arrived at your town. Thara from the Shadowtop Cathedral had arrived with the Grove of Trents, as well as you guys had completed the lumber mill and the barracks by the time you got to where you're going. After a bit of travel and seeing a black dragon snatch up a hill giant like it was a fucking Cheez-It, you guys arrived at Stone Stand, and there you learned quite a bit about the ghost of Gulbrand's past, and encountered the very first Starkeeper, Arvandil, who you understand Starkeepers to be what Gulbrand is as far as reading the stars to ascertain the future. We did talk about hot dog eyes. I'm sorry, I'm reading my I'm reading my timestamps, and that just gets me every time. You guys did desecrate the tree at Stone Stand to uncover the skull of Gert the Pale, and afterward got the Axe of Avril Lavine, which was made from a meteorite. Gulbrand added to his collection. Davos was a little racist in Davos was astute in knowing integrity was a tiefling name, and then promptly racist by saying that's why he knew. You guys made some plans to expand your city a bit. Tried to send a message to Hydia Moonmusk, and then arrived in Mirabar, where you guys made your way to the barge right in and encountered Aida Medley, a charming little wood elf woman who Davos had been sent to recruit from Oren for Oren. And after playing together with the song Numb, you two hit it off and made an excellent performance for the bar. You guys did get some winter clothes at Oaken's Make It So, and shortly after left Mirabar to head toward the Valley of Kedrun, where you met up with your old friend Harshnag. You began the ascent up the spine of the world, and I didn't emphasize this properly in the last session. These are absolutely colossal mountains. Think like Rocky Mountain level, like absolute sharp peaks, not like the rolling mountains that we're in now that are sort of on the smaller end, very much jagged and tall and bigger than really anything you guys have ever seen. The only exception being Bergen, who has lived near this area, the far western edge of it, and had crossed part of these mountains to come to this point. But for the rest of you, it's just far enough away. Tally might have seen them from where he was, and Zatari would probably have seen them quite a bit too. But the rest of you live on the southern end of this continent and didn't really get the exposure to this. Along the way, you guys found a frozen bridge that was built by the giants, 4 giants who were making their pilgrimage to the Eye of the Allfather. And before you crossed it, thankfully, spotted 3 Yetis that were preparing to attack you and ambush you. After some fierce combat, you guys knocked one out. There are just 2 remaining. And that, my dudes, is where we're going to pick up tonight's session. There are just 2 more things I wanted to say. I wanted to reiterate the new Ember rule, quote unquote. So when Ember is used, it'll be 3 days instead of 1 for him to come back. And I'm going to say that he has to see you, because there's a lot of spells that have that prerequisite, and I think that's fair. I know that there's probably quite a few times where I'm sort of monologuing or just, talking, and you guys want to chime in something, whether it's character-based or you have a question, anything like that. Feel free to put up a hand or do something to let me know that you're, wanting to chime in. If I don't...
I will say flag.
What was that?
I will say flag.
Flag? Okay. What you call me, you son of... Oh, I'm sorry, flag. I didn't hear that L. But yeah, and that's primarily. I know sometimes there's things that I'm saying just to describe the scene or whatever. But if you want to interact with those things, please, by all means. I want to. That makes it that much richer when you guys pick up on things or certain things are interesting to your character that I may not have thought of, and I want you guys to have those interactions and those moments. And with that, let's get right back in this fucking Yeti business.
So Bergen has had 1 or 2 death fails. Death saving throws.
Bergen
He's
is
up.
picked back up. Yes.
You picked him
him
up.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think.
that's right.
Oh, you had to leave.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You picked him up.
Bergen left early, and I was thinking I wasn't going to be here, so I said, can I just do my turn so it's not...
Yes. No, Bergen did go down. I should have had Ember fix him, but that was my fuck up. And I think you were the one. Yeah, because you pulled forward to reach him, and were able to recover him. And with that, we're gonna pick up where we stopped, which
And
was with
he's
Bergen.
at,
just
like,
gonna see
what,
if
5 health? Or just
He ain't great. What do you got, my dude?
the...
Bergen.
Ooh,
casted
Let's see.
cure wounds. Oh, I couldn't do that because I had to be touching them, I think.
No, you moved up to do
Yeah, I
it,
was
and
about
then
to say, you were
Bergen drank a
within-
potion
You're within 5
after
feet.
that.
yeah, I was gonna say. I thought I drank a potion.
And cast Greater
Then-
Restoration
What's
on
it
Tally.
called? Yeah,
That was the last thing you did, I believe.
yeah.
I do
Alright,
need 10,
let's see here.
10 healing. And then that's minus...
Yeah, I got 16 hit points
Okay.
right now. Not to be
so
too
you're not-
meta or whatever, but that should. Yeah.
Granted,
Can I take a look around and just ascertain like everybody's like physical, because I just don't remember like everybody's
No,
like
yeah,
physical,
for
like
sure.
how they're bloated or whatever.
if you boys want to say if you were at half health, quarter health, give them a rough idea of how roughed up you're looking.
Gulbrand is
Whatever's-
almost bloodied. Zatari is almost bloodied.
I'm less than a quarter.
Less.
Tally is...
I'm
I feel
less-
That's
I feel like
not
he's gotta be
bloody.
somewhat close too.
I used my
Yeah.
dying breath, my unconscious breath to heal Bergen.
Unconscious.
So I
breath?
think-
Are you down?
Like, about to be unconscious, not quite dead. You know?
Oh, I see.
I think technically Tally is the closest to bloodied of those three, but it sounds like Davos needs it.
Also,
Yeah,
I
no,
think
for
that
sure.
As soon as Bergen was brought back up, the first thing he did was heal Tally, and now you almost on death's door healing Bergen. It's,
I mean, we're all pretty much on
To love
death's
triangle.
door this war. Also.
yeah, these
Yeah.
hit pretty hard. Also, before I forget,
No joke, dude. That fucking.
Yeah, that little freeze ray thing they do.
yeah, the Yeti's gaze,
There, the
chilling
death
gaze.
stare. Yeah.
I will need somebody to run Tally. So I think Devin is running Zatari, is that right, Devin? Okay, so if Brandon or Spencer, if
I'll
one of
run
you,
tally.
cool. And
I was gonna say
help me
one of these
remember.
days I'll be able to like run somebody else.
If a Yeti gazes at you, and you were gazed at last game, please help me remember that so I know that you're immune, because it's a little fuzzy. So Bergen, what you got for
I
me?
think we've all been gazed at right now. Let me
don't
see.
think
All
you
right, so I'm
You
going
have to
to.
fail the save to get the immunity. So
You have
like
to pass the
if
save.
well, you have to fail it. Like it has to take a hold of you, right?
You have
Right.
to pass it. So if it gazes at you and you pass
Oh.
the save, you're immune to it. But if you gaze and
Oh.
you fail, it
Oh.
can look at you again, and technically you can still fail.
I see.
The Yetis
Oh, I
are-
thought it was the other way around.
No, yeah, and the big Yeti's special. Like you can, and I'll double check this to make sure.
Yeah, I was under the impression once you were
If-
affected by it, you couldn't be affected by it again.
If the target saving throw is successful, or if the effect ends on it, the target is immune to the chilling gaze of all Yetis, but not abominable Yetis for 1 hour.
But all right, so there's probably only one of us that's immune, and it ain't me.
No, Tally's immune because he's been frozen and got out of it. Gulbrand's immune. He's been frozen and got out of it. My brain doesn't reach.
Tally
much
was
farther than
frozen
that.
at one point, and he's not now, so we're gonna assume that.
Bergen was frozen, and that's how it dropped him. So he's now.
Yes.
Yeah. Technically, he
Now
didn't
I am
pass
immune
out
to
of it, but I will allow that to to be an
But
exemption.
the
I was
effect
gonna
ended on
see
it.
that's
Yeah, that's fair.
that's where I get confused. Okay, well I'm gonna do this on Davos.
Blue,
Whoa.
solid. Yeah,
Damn.
look at him
Hell
look,
yeah.
look at Brendan's face.
Banana bread? Hells yeah.
Banana bread? What?
I guess you haven't seen that video.
Is it a Vine or a TikTok?
Yeah, probably TikTok. He's
A
talking about
Vine, Devin,
banana.
your
I
age
had
is
some
showing.
banana bread and hells
I
yeah.
I never had a Vine. I just assumed.
I'm surprised you're old enough to know what Vine is.
I guess that was in middle school. Who knows?
I like
Shut
that, dude.
up.
That's your action. What are you feeling for your bonus action if you have one?
Ugh, I don't think I have much of one, so I will ready
Oh,
my
don't do that.
shield for the Yeti in front of me, which I know it won't do much, but just for flavor, I guess.
Okay. That does bring it to the abominable Yeti, who is going to be swinging them big thick fists. He
You have a
gazed
list?
at Gulbrand. Or excuse me, not Gulbrand. Harshnag. Harshnag passed out of it. He's gonna level his gaze at Zatari. Devin, can you make Zatari make a con save for me?
Wasn't Atari
Oh, I didn't
part
mean to do
of
that
the
twice.
last
I'm sorry.
one? Like he coned it. It was Harshnag, I thought. Devin.
That was the
and-
The
breath.
cone is a different thing. That's like
Oh,
a chili
okay,
breath
alright.
thing.
Alright.
18. That meets, so you just barely passed that. Solid.
Zatari just finished reloading his gun and missed it.
I was about to say the first time that was what was happening too. That's funny. Let me double check something real quick before I jump on. Is it half damage?
Where'd she go?
Okay. No, yeah. All right. So Zatari is good there. The Yeti still gets to make it swing, so it's going to make a swing on Harshnag. Ooh, that might hit.
Coming for Gulbrand, huh?
It's a 21, which meets Harshnag's AC. So Harshnag is going to take 14 slashing and 3 cold damage. So a total of 17. Yeah.
Is he resistant to cold?
He is resistant
Is that
to
the
cold.
resistant?
Yeah, because it's 7 normally for the abominable. That brings it to Zat.
Oh, that's me.
Zat!
No, that's not.
That's me.
Gulbrand.
Since he reloaded his gun last game, last game, I guess the same thing. He'll blah blah this one, I guess.
Pop.
Blah blah, whatever you want to call it. How come when I click that one, it doesn't roll until I do this? First one.
True.
Second one, sad face.
19 hits. Does the damage. Second one misses.
Blah blah.
Does he have a bonus action? Oh, he can take a bonus action shot, I think.
No sir.
He can do pop, pop, pop if he has the bullets.
Nah, he can do like frost shots and stuff, but I've already shot.
I think he gets a bonus action shot due to one of his feats.
It's not on his character sheet.
Okay. Any other bonus action shit?
Nah, that's all he's got listed on here.
Go ahead and move on to gold.
Can he? Yeah. If he can, if it's possible, he will move to a. He will try to move out of the cone of the breath if he can do that. I guess he's still tied to Gulbrand.
He is tied to Gulbrand. He can move between like you and Davos, or he can move around the corner because he's on the end, so he has the most flexibility. But the cone was pretty big. It was 30 feet, so you know. And,
I'll say for flavor, he moves like right here, between the big guy and the armored guy.
Probably wishes he was on the other side of the big guy and the armored guy.
He's working his way there.
Making his way downtown. All right, Gulbrand.
Gulbrand wants to. Oh boy. All right.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy. I guess since I'm tied to people, since I'm tied to people, I can't do much. He'll go ahead, I think, and
And I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause you for 1 second. Because we reset it, it took off Harshnag, and Harshnag was just before Zatari, so I'm gonna have him swing real quick.
heard.
He's
It
gonna
was the
take
end
that-
of initiative count.
Yeah.
How did you get that put on my thingamabob? Good for you.
What?
No, just go ahead, keep going. I'm reading my.
His first
Thing.
great axe misses. That one I think hits. Double check this thing's AC. Just barely hits. Harshnag does 26 damage to this son of a bitch. And the big Yeti's in rough shape. It is in critical territory. You watch as Harshnag goes and cleaves it in the side of the ribs, and I mean, this thing's taken a beating, so blood is all in this fur. It's very rough, very roughed up. Gulbrand, now you.
Heard. I gotta check one more thing. How many times can I cast this if I do this one more time? I did it once last time. Okay, so he's already done this once. He's gonna throw a guiding bolt at the one in front of us, and he's gonna turn around and throw his javelin at the one behind us.
Okay.
So here's the guiding bolt.
It's weird that you do that.
What?
Because you could give yourself advantage on the attack, but I guess you're giving somebody else advantage.
I'm giving Tally advantage on it, preferably.
The guiding bolt misses.
Yeah, that sucks. I think since he missed, can he change his target to that same Yeti with the spear? If you'll give me just a second, I used a guiding bolt last game and it didn't. I don't see it marked on here, so I'm gonna roll again just so that it marks it, so that I know I've used 2 of them or whatever.
I thought about this after last session. Your constellation thing is a wild shape, like it uses a wild shape,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
You can get your +1s on that as well from your
Okay,
Axe of
I see what
Avril
you're saying. Well, this
That
is
still
a
doesn't let
bonus
that
action
first
for
one
him to
hit,
throw.
just for
Well, that's not even a. Those are spells. That's not even a javelin. So this javelin will technically be a 20 instead. Not natural, but
yeah.
30, 20.
That do hit. So go ahead and roll some damage, and add a 1 to it.
12.
12. That is enough. You watch as Gulbrand he fires off like a meteor from his palm toward the Yeti, and it goes a little wide, and out of frustration, he pulls back, and as he does, this sort of spear made of starlight forms in his grip, and he throws it and catches the Yeti in the chest. And I shouldn't have deleted
You're
that.
not so fucking spigs.
This Yeti is dead on the bridge. And that brings us, unless you have a bonus action, or that was your bonus action.
That was my bonus action.
Tally.
Tally. Oh, well.
He's going to Kai Karim, this big guy.
Get him. Oh,
Good card for him.
And
And you watch as Telly, a little pissed off that he was petrified, and sees the 2 dead Yetis in front of him, and turns to look over his shoulder, and then I imagine anime style, like still looking forward, throws it back behind him, and it strikes the Yeti, and immediately blood gushes from his eyes, his nose, his ears. And with
You
2
get to
heavy
roll
steps,
sneak attack for that too.
He collapses. He don't need it.
yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, right. And I
Um,
would have had the second Kai Karim.
That do take care of your active enemies, my dude. You do find on these Yetis a climber's kit. If somebody will jot that down or throw
On
it in
the Yetis?
bag of holding. You gather it was something they had taken from travelers or something.
Adventurers.
You also find some meat and some unusable things that they've been gnawing on, but that's the recoverable item. Anything else you boys want to do before heading up further up the path?
I've recorded the climber's kit.
You don't
I
need a
think we
Yeti
need to
for
take
a
a
huh, Gulbrand?
As you say that, you do remember something. Daphne had said that Miros said to keep an eye out for anything you can use for materials. And again, he can't do enchantments per se, but he can use materials to make better weapons and armor. So,
Would we
do
be
what
able
you're
to
doing.
ascertain what's a good usable material, or do we got to carry around
be anything.
Yeti finger toe jam?
Make
just to make
an
sure?
intelligence or a wisdom check. I'll let you pick.
Can Gulbrand give him advantage or roll himself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a straight wisdom?
Just straight wisdom or
Oh,
intelligence. Yeah.
that's a save. Sorry, hold on.
Yeah, re-roll that. Even though that's better. Gulbrand, you, especially having lived in the High Forest for most of your life, come from a culture where almost any part of the beast is usable. The claws, the horns, the fur. Even with a 20, I'll say you think parts of the creature that have special effects can be used in potions. So you gather you might be able to take
Plants and
these.
things like that.
You might be able to take these eyes, and maybe between your knowledge and the knowledge of Talia, that you might be able to come up with a way to utilize that in some type of concoction.
Gulbrand's as he comes up behind Davos, he'll say they looks the dust and frozen dust. Perhaps we can take the eyes, the horns, the claws, and the teeth. The skins might take a while to pull off, but it could be worms and perhaps tufts.
I'm surprised you're not hauling the heads back to town.
Right.
Don't think we'll get paid for that ones.
Harshnag says he's willing to help you with the skinning. He says, I am no good for the finer recovery of such small things, but skinning I can do. So if any of you would like to make a survival check to try to recover one of those things, you have to tell me what you're trying to recover, and then you can roll, and Harshnag will give you advantage if you're doing the skins.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how okay or not okay is it if Taliban rolls instead of Gulbrand?
I mean, you could either... I would say that you could... I mean, yeah, that would be acceptable.
Is that acceptable?
So when we say, like, if I said eyes, would it be all 6 eyes?
It would be for one creature where you would do them individually. Which is good and bad, because, you know, if you've botched the roll, you don't lose all 6 eyes. But it is per pair, I should say.
Tally will do Yeti A's eyeballs, and he'll be careful not to, like, stare into them. Or anything like that.
You guys give a... In fact, as you... Oh, go ahead and roll.
I'm gonna say Gulbrand will try to do the other Yeti, so that we're not just.
That's,
9 survival. Damn.
Yeah.
That's... He lived in the
If
woods
he were
and
here,
caves all his
if
life.
he were here, I would have been like, Taliban's, do you knows how to skin these things?
So, Tally goes up to the one on the bridge and gives it a bit of a kick because he's annoyed. You know, again, being petrified and helpless like that is very frustrating, but especially to Taliban for reasons. And as he looks into the eyes, they don't have the same effect, but it still, you know, sends a sort of a shiver up his spine. And he actually takes out, I would say, a small dagger and kind of cuts the eyelid and reaches behind and very carefully pops it loose. Severs the stem, adds it to a pouch. You do successfully collect 2 from that survival check. Gulbrand, do you want to do the other one?
Maybe instead of the eyes, Gulbrand will try to do, I guess he's going to try to do, depending on the check, horns, teeth, and claws.
You can do...
One of those?
The teeth, I will tell you, probably won't do much, but you can do horn or claws.
He'll try to do the horns.
That is successful. They have a lower DC, too, because, you know, eyes are very tedious, you know.
Yeah.
But, you do manage to recover a pair of horns from one. You know, you've, again, you cut antlers off of creatures as a regular thing, so it's more difficult than what you're expecting. The tissue is very hard and firm, and it's attached to the base of the skull, but you do manage to basically break the skull off, break it off of the skull, and you even see some fragments of bone, and Yeti brain begins to ooze out, but you do manage to recover both horns from that one.
He would also try the eyes if he had time, I guess.
Yeah, there's doesn't seem to be any imminent threat.
I will do the horns of the other one, despite how gross I saw Gulbrand doing it.
Davos gags, but
That's
powers on
Davos,
nonetheless.
I love it.
So Gulbrand, you do get the eyes, so that's 4 eyes total so far.
Cool.
Davos, you go, and you, like, begin to crack a bit, and as you do, like, the skull fractures just enough to where, like, some brain matter pops out and, like, splatters you a little bit, and you almost immediately throw up over the bridge. Like, not a graceful process by any means.
It takes a little bit to practice, holy man.
Yeah, I went to Bard College, not necromancy, okay?
Alright, so that's 4 eyes and 2 horns. 2 horns are ruined in that process.
That's nice.
While you're doing this, Harshnag will work on skinning the big one. What's his survival? Not great.
Say, let him do the skins.
I think
Oh,
horns
but
and
he
the eyes
rolled
might
okay.
be the best.
What is the skin DC? I've got that here somewhere. Okay, yeah.
After that, I guess Tally will do the abominable eyes.
Harshnag does skin the larger Yeti. It does take him some time, but with his great axe, he has a very firm grip on the fur and just basically peels it off as he goes, severing it from the flesh. And what is left is very sinuous and just very
takes notes,
disgusting.
Davos.
The big one does give you more than the younger two. So I think you get 3 skins from the big one. What did you say a second ago, Davos? You wanted to harvest what?
The abominable's eyes as Tally, and he rolled a
Okay.
13.
13? 13 is not enough. Tally goes up to the big one, and its skull is much more thick. I mean, he tries to get the knife behind it, but he severs one of the eyes, and immediately the ichor and liquid inside of it just sort of melts into the skull, and he gathers that it's ruined, and doesn't have any better luck with the second one. All right, so that's both horns, all the eyes. You could choose to do the big Yeti's horns. You could choose to do the young Yeti skins. Or the normal Yeti skins, I should say. They're not young.
Did you say claws too?
You could try claws.
Or was that... I mean, if it's worth it, yeah, sure, but...
You could. You gather there's less things that can be made from them as opposed to, like, the horns themselves. But you gather you could make arrow tips or, some smaller things with them.
I think Gulbrand would try to hack off the horns. The abominable Yeti, he would just try to take his axe and...
Okay.
Because I imagine they're pretty good size.
After seeing... You did the first pair successfully, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
After doing that, I would say you have advantage on this roll.
Blap, blap.
Didn't need it. Yeah, you break them off, and these are sizable. I mean, these horns are almost as long as your arm. These creatures are... The abominable is huge. It is roughly the same stature as Harshnag. A little shorter, broader, but you do get 2... And I'll even mark those special, because you might be able to make something a little bigger with those. Okay. Anything else, my dudes?
We just killed a family. Good job, y'all.
Yeah, that should be good. That's all the horns and eyes? Yeah.
That's... Yeah, you attempted all the horns. Or excuse me, you attempted all the eyes, and you got all the horns.
Harvest the human horn.
Oh, God. Thank you, Futurama, for this disturbing message. All right.
And then I'm going to kick the same Yeti that Tally did, back him up, and then I think I see it move, and I'm run away further up the bridge.
I almost wanted you to have, roll an attack roll, and if you nat 1, fall off the bridge. There's still time,
but... I would hate it. No, I'm not trying to hurt it, just I saw Tally kick, and I'm like, yeah,
I will say, even, once you guys have harvested all you can from the abominable Yeti, Harshnag actually grips it by where the scruff of his neck would be had he not skinned it. I'd say he didn't skin the head, so he does have a little bit of scruff. He grabs it and he drags it over and tosses it into the ravine. And he watches it hits the wall, tumbles down several hundred feet before eventually colliding in with the snow at the base.
It didn't stir up minus Tirith, in...
A frozen kraken arises from the cabin. No.
Like the helmet falling down the well, and it...
The Balrog whips you off of the bridge. You'll come back later, don't worry.
Sorry, I think it was Moria, not me.
Even stronger.
Mine's with Moria, you're right. Even stronger, that's right. Davos the Whitebringer. Wow, he is fully racist now. Congratulations.
Wow.
No, light bringer.
With that, my dudes, it's at this point it's later in the day, so you guys go ahead and set up camp. Go ahead and give everybody a long rest. If you can't do that to the people you're running, let me know.
I don't believe we can. I will double check.
I will fix that real quick.
Yeah, those buttons are not available.
And I didn't ask this quite enough last week. Is there something that you boys want to do as far as any role play through the camping?
I remember a whole month ago, I wanted to talk to Gulbrand, but I forget all the stuff I wanted to ask. It was just about his abilities, and I don't know, maybe I forget.
Gulbrand's still toting around that Gert's skull, isn't he?
Yep, you still got it.
That's what I thought. Gulbrand will ask, because I know Gulbrand would want to ask something when they get all around the fire. He Well, he has 2 questions. He wants to ask Harshnag something, but I guess he'll start with the group. He'll look around and says, we are going to speak to in the oracles. Actually, he's gonna start with Harshnag. You have to offer these things tributes. I am assuming that means you get to ask it. You get to ask something from it. What exactly are you seeking from these things?
There are several things that I wish to learn from him, from the Oracle. The Oracle is said to be an avatar of Annam himself. I would like to see if there is some way I can learn how I can restore the ordning, or perhaps a way to return King Hecaton to his full power, to where he once again has dominion over the other giants.
King Zeus?
And you've heard of Hecaton. I know Devin is like, what does Gulbrand know? What does Devin know? Both Harshnag, the first time you met him, and Zephyros told you guys that King Hecaton is the king of giants. He's a storm king, and resides in Maelstrom. And his power came through the ordning. It was the ordning that put storm giants on the very top of the pyramid, and he, as leader of the storm giants, was the supreme king of giants on this realm.
That's all things the group has been filled in on.
Yeah, and because of that, he had control over them, like divine, basically almost like medieval divine right to rule. But when the ordning was shattered, his power was lost in a way. Not that he basically lost the respect of his kinsmen, as they thought they could ascend above him in the ordning. They wanted to be Chief Ga, Chief Kalithika. All of them sought to become the highest power over all the other giants.
After verifying from Harshnag that you do indeed get to seem to ask something from the Oracle, he'll look around, he'll say, perhaps it would be best to consider what we are going to ask these things.
Do we get, like, just one question?
It is difficult to say. I have never visited the Oracle myself, and I do understand you get to ask multiple questions, but I could not say. It is also difficult to plan this out, as with one answer, more questions may arise from it.
Well, that's why if we maybe talk about it ahead of time, we can figure out the most efficient question to ask to answer.
Or maybe the most prudent, like, if we don't have any questions, if we don't know how many of the questions we're going to get, it might be prudent to decide the most important things the most important information that we need.
Well, what do you seek to learn?
Like, how long am I going to live?
I should say that the Oracle may only answer things that Annam the Allfather would know. If the Allfather is unaware, I imagine the Oracle would be unable to answer.
Harshnag's gonna ask how he can restore the ordning.
That's his plan.
I see.
What's that supposed to mean, cryptic DM? That's his plan. Wink, wink.
I mean,
wants to say
happen between now and then.
Yeah.
I mean, he could learn something between now and then. One of you could ask that, and he could, think of something else to ask.
I wants to know why the ordnings has been broken in the first place, but that
indeed
that may not be the prudent questions compared to others' ideas.
I am more concerned for the future than the past, but it may grant us some insight into how we could go about repairing it.
I mean, my original quest was to find out about the Nightstone and the powers that it holds.
It is
That's
indeed
kind of what I was thinking.
An ancient artifact. I do not know much of it, but I do understand it was from the same time as Astoria. It is difficult to say whether or not it was giant, draconic, perhaps even human-made. But I know that that is where legend first speaks of it. What do you seek to learn, wise man? Or holy man, he says to Bergen.
Oof. I was kind of wondering about the Nightstone as well, but if not the Nightstone in particular, I was probably thinking of asking how best to serve the people or the township of Nightstone itself. What would be best for its interest?
Look at you looking out for your people. That's very holy boy thing. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best way to go, but that's the only thing I could really think of, like since yesterday when it was first brought up. I'm mulling it over ever since.
Yeah. Harshnag tells you, it is. I am unsure how the Oracle may guide you for something that does not pertain to giant kind. As I said, it is what Annam may know, and I do not believe Annam would even be familiar with this settlement. Although, perhaps, with the Cloud Giant's interest in it, he does have some knowledge that we do not. Good thoughts. And you, Wood Elf, while the DM checks his notes that Tally sent him.
While you're doing that, Gulbrand will mention, he'll say, it could possibly be prudence if we find ourselves with excess questions to ask if any of the giant, if Nightstone is in danger of giant attacks, or something of that natures.
That's also good. He did not actually send me one. He just told me that he was going to think on it, so I recant that. The one who sent me one was that motherfucker, Davos. No. What?
No, I was about to say.
No, it was Devin. I'm sorry.
I had like 4. I was ready.
I don't even remember this. Was this in game notes?
What do you mean, the
Or was
Oracle
that
thing? This was
asking the questions.
when I thought we were gonna be missing you and Zatari. I'm like, hey, think on this, and then if you can't be here, send me a thing, and this way we can,
Yeah, I don't.
ask for you.
PM me.
I think it was in chat or game notes or something.
Okay. Either way, I'm here.
It was in chat, I think.
I missed it.
Either way, it is difficult to say what we may learn from the temple itself, if anything. My thoughts may change twixt now and then.
He's never been in there, he said.
Yeah, he knows its location, and he shares with you that he's one of the few. It's not like, not all giant kind knows this. It's a very well-guarded secret because they don't want outsiders, attacking it, pillaging it. But this is his first pilgrimage. It is a place that many giants have come to. Many of the giant leaders, perhaps, may have come here. And seeking guidance for whatever their nefarious plans may be.
I guess we could maybe also ask if they're aware of us questing against them.
Asking if the giant lords are aware? Or asking if Annam? Okay, that's fair.
This is for the group, not
I
saying
don't think that's a bad
ask it. Just
I don't think that's a
kind
bad
of putting it out
idea.
there. See if we got some giants on our tail.
I guess Gulbrand will go ahead and ask, since Harshnag admitted to at the very least, knowing where it is. Do you know if it is dangerous to go in? If there are obstacles?
Indeed. The temple is a sacred place, and will likely have defenses to protect it from outsiders. There is also, while the temple is not manned year-round, there is the possibility that we could run into giants up in the temple itself. Not to mention whatever creatures have tried to.
A holy place?
Oh, they will not desecrate the temple, but it is no crime to spill blood in the name of Annam. Some may even say it would grant them further favor.
Oh, boys.
Oh, boys,
Yes.
and fucking deed.
Guess I'll be adding more giant skulls to my backpack. Points.
I got dibs on the rear of the formation, given my history of the giants.
I love it. Character building. Harshnag.
Dude, y'all are gonna never hear the end of it if I survive.
Harshnag does not seem to be terribly, what's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't seem terribly concerned with the discussion itself, and sort of checks out unless you guys have any questions for him.
He's answered all the questions I wanted out of it.
Yeah, I can't think of any right now. Yeah.
Okay. You guys will have an opportunity to, once you actually get to the Oracle, you'll have a chance to talk to, so don't feel like it's now or never. But
Right.
with that, you boys finish up your rest. It is, you gather that it's dawn, but in this sort of blizzard that permanently surrounds these northern peaks, it is difficult to say. You really only glean. It looks slightly lighter when Harshnag stands and says it's time to go, and you guys proceed for almost an entire another day up the mountain, and it is unforgiving. You guys are a little achy from the fight, but also even with the clothes, the cold is piercing. The few parts of your body that are exposed are numb, red. Gulbrand, even you with your cold resistance, begin to feel, you draw your bare skin a little tighter as this wind sort of rattles a bit.
Covered in ice, I'm sure. Fucking frozen solid.
Yeah, the moisture is starting to freeze to certain parts of your clothing, your weapons, your general convoy.
Y'all just hear me in the back. I become so numb.
The inspiration sticking strong, I see. That's beautiful. You boys do finally, after trudging through this blizzard for hours and hours and hours, Harshnag finally raises a finger and says, "We are here." And you gentlemen see a 40-foot wide, naturally formed stone causeway that leads to a long tunnel. Sheer cliffs plunge hundreds of feet on both sides of the route, and it's covered with 2 feet of snow, in which you can see fresh tracks heading toward the mountainside. The causeway ends before a stone dome carved from the mountainside, and 6 30-foot tall stone pillars support the dome. Each pillar is carved with the wraparound bas-relief. From north to south, the pillars depict 6 scenes, each with a different type of giant. A hill giant lifting a rock above its head, a frost giant chopping down a great pine, a cloud giant flying among birds, a flying storm giant hurling lightning bolts at a ship, a stone giant ascending a mountain, and a fire giant with chained dwarf prisoners in a cavern. At the back of the dome, a 40-foot wide, 40-foot high hallway leads deeper into the mountainside. Davos is typing.
You said there were tracks?
There are
Fresh
tracks.
tracks?
Fresh tracks. You can make a survival check if you want to try to see what they are.
Gulbrand, the fuck is that? Oh, wow, of course.
They're not
Use them all.
immense. You gather that they're not giant tracks, but it's difficult to say. I mean, the snow has been. You get a feeling there's more than one, and because of that, the quality of them is not very clear. And again, you guys are trudging nearly, knee deep in this stuff. It's not too. Oh, Davos. Very excellent.
Tally.
Oh, that was Tally. I was like, that's way too high for Davos.
I got a +2. Okay.
Tally.
Tallies, do you think this could be
I
Yetis? Families of Yetis? That's
like to think Tally gets down and licks the snow.
That's yellow snow. Even I know not
Gross.
to eat that.
Human. I would gather maybe 5 to 10 of them. Difficult to say how long. Maybe a day or 2. They've begun to fill in the bottom, if you see. Likely still here within the temple. I do not see any exiting tracks.
Oh, well.
Unless there is, of course, another entryway or exitway.
Gulbrand takes his axe out.
As we dig into this big boy, why don't you boys go ahead and drop your tokens, and we'll go ahead and get our marching order established.
That's not foreboding.
All I do is foreboding, my dude.
Forebodies, no.
Wow.
Why is Atari so big?
I will resize. This one, it has a grid, but I couldn't get the grid to match up with the grid on the map, so there's no actual, like, lock-in kind of thing. Also, I should say, these are 20-foot squares. This place is built by giants for giants. This is immense. Because of that, for movement, you can move 2 squares. I know that kind of sucks, but I'm going to use the same rule for other creatures, so don't overthink it.
Doesn't that also mean we can fit all, like, 4 of us to a square?
You can technically fit 4 to a square. I figured it would be easier. We can resize you guys to where you're a little smaller, rather than taking up the full square. Harshnag is a little bigger than he should be. He's technically a 3x3. This is a 4x4. I just didn't want you guys to have too much trouble as far as, like...
We all know our own tokens.
Yeah. I'm going to zoom into about 70%. I think that'd be good to, like, discern y'all well enough. Anything else before... Or Harshnag asks you, do you have any other preparations before we enter?
Where's the save button?
Autosave. Kills the merchant.
Does it look dark? Like, can we tell it all? Does it look like we're gonna need some? I guess Gulbrand can see.
As you look in, you can see a dull firelight, and it seems to line the, like there's the tunnel itself, and it seems to come from the upper parts, and it seems organized in such a way that you gather that it's probably sconces of some sort.
Well,
and I'm guessing no sounds that we're hearing.
You can try to make a perception check if you would like.
I mean, only if it's potentially going to find something.
I will say perception or invest... Oh, never mind, you rolled. With the roaring winds of the snowstorm around you, it's difficult to say.
That's logical.
What order are you boys marching on in?
So the last thing Gulbrand wants to do is ask Harshnag if he first or last.
I liked the order we were in on the bridge. Me, Bergen up front, Harshnag in the back.
Yeah.
Harshnag nods his head and says, "Indeed, if there is something in here, me going first may lead them to hear me and expose our position. If you have any desire to do reconnaissance, I'd recommend sending in one of the quieter fellows."
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Send Tally in, like he did in the...
Tally can choose to make a perception or an insight check, or excuse me, a perception or investigation check within the entry hallway. Which, since you guys are up here, I'll reveal a little bit.
17.
Blue. 17.
Is that less than his passive?
It's the same, I think. Yeah, he has a 17 PP.
Oh, no, he has a 19 PP.
Oh, did he get...
So doesn't that
bigger.
technically mean he... Yeah, I was about to say, don't technically you fall back on that?
He would when he would enter, but since you guys are choosing to do reconnaissance in advance, obviously he gets that score as a baseline. So yeah, he does get the 19, which he gathers. Let me double check to make sure. Yeah, he just passed it. It was a DC 18. So this is a very long hallway. Goes on for several hundred feet, probably 300? Yeah, give or take. And he does see at the end of this hallway, there's steps that ascend to a very large door, and there's small figures gathered around it. Can't make out a lot of detail. He also sees that there's ledges on both sides of the room. And because of this, let me go ahead and reveal a little more for you boys. Can y'all see that? No. Bitch, I said reveal. Let there be feckin' light. There we go.
Okay.
Oh.
He does say that they're grunting, and they seem to be speaking, but he can't make it out.
They are human?
They appear to be humanoid.
Okay, humanoid. Good.
Yeah. And with With the 19,
Does
I'd say
symbol mean the one is yelling? Is that what that is? symbol.
No. That one does seem to be in charge, but he's not shouting per se. So I know we're
Roll
doing
20
Tally up
input.
front, Harshnag in the back. Where are
I
the
would
rest of you
say
falling in?
If I can't be
Oh.
next to Tally, very
Let's
close
see,
behind. If
I'm
not
gonna
in
be
front of
all up in there too.
and me and Bergen are the beefy boys.
Okay, so we'll put you boys.
Hey, there's a
here.
name for a band, the Beefy Boys. No.
Beefy boys.
Los
Since
Beefos.
The Beefy
Harshnag's in the
Boys.
back,
It's a
since
furball
Harshnag's in
band.
the back, Gulbrand will go behind all of them and let Zatari come behind him, since Zatari has some muscle to back him up. Gulbrand was gonna go in the back, but since Harshnag's back there, he
Are you
doesn't
thinking
need to.
like 5 point like this?
Ah!
Yeah, I kind of like that.
With maybe like 10 foot in between the columns, rows.
Yeah, it's.
So
I mean,
if,
these are
they
20-foot
fireball us-
squares. They're about 20 feet. Harshnag could walk through them unimpeded. It's not, narrow. The actual hallway
I'm
is
just
40
saying,
feet
like,
wide.
we're not huddled up. So if we get hit with like an AOE attack,
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe like we're up against the walls, like
you guys-
each column
Maybe
is
not
up against the
8,
walls.
15.
maybe not
I
all the
mean,
way
you
to
could
the wall,
have
but,
it
like,
like you could have
10 foot.
if like one of you was on each wall, there would be 30 feet between you.
Yeah, that's a little far. I like what Davos is saying with 20
Maybe
feet
like
in between.
20 feet, 15, 20.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's kind of splitting the difference.
Yeah, but still same formation, just
Yeah, we'll wedge you guys out a bit. That's about a
What
square's
column?
worth apart. It's a little harder to say. Okay. All right, what do you boys do
Is
next?
college ruled? Is that a wide ruled paper?
Wow.
What you boys doing?
I guess advancing? Question
Yeah.
mark?
Means we'll have to make a stealth check probably, but we
If you would like to
we
do
gotta
so,
sneak in to get a closer look.
I mean, I would like to think that as best we can move up there peacefully, unless we see it's
At least until we notice what the hell they
Right.
are.
and Harshnag says, if you're trying to be stealthy, perhaps it would be best if I were to wait outside. But if I hear combat ensue, I will race to enter. And you guys also gather, if you get closer, you can learn more about these figures. You can see what they're wearing, maybe what language they're speaking, what their intent seems to be. Things you couldn't discern from 300 feet away, but
Gulbrand,
I
you
say
can't
with
just
sense.
appear like a constellation on the ceiling and Sistine
could-
Chapel this biatch.
That goes lights ups, not the ceilings, but it goes lights
I
ups.
think you've done enough lighting up.
Whoosh for Gulbrand.
Tally does also say that there are the ledges. They're high. They're 20 feet off the ground. But if we could find a way to get up there, then we might be able to secure some ranged fire without being detected quickly.
Do you think I could boost yous and Zatari's ups?
20
What,
feet?
He's 7 foot.
Yeah.
tall.
They could climb up from that point. Yeah. Because I
Yeah,
imagine
climb
arms
would
up,
be
you're
fucking
probably close to
fine.
10.
So do we do
Chris?
Zatari on one, Tally on the other?
On the other.
Okay.
But then we
Um,
have to ooh. That's gonna be fun. Let's then I guess let's go ahead and try it, but we'll see.
Could they
How far
jump
away is that
down
roughly?
without fall damage?
It's about 100 feet into the cavern, and it's still about 200 feet away from them where it starts
From them?
the ledge. Yeah.
Okay, that's a pretty solid distance away. Okay.
So you
And if they
boys
wanted-
could.
If they wanted to jump down to get in the middle of the fight, they could do that without
They,
help.
they might take a little bit of fall damage, but yeah. 20 feet's that's a pretty big fall, but
Yeah.
What if we
it's
get
not
them
going to
some
kill you.
rope?
What?
Some rope.
Some
Y'all
rope.
do have rope.
I guess we can just leave it. We can leave each of them a length of rope. hoist them up there.
Most adventurers have rope as part of like their standard adventuring gear. I don't have their, I don't want to take the time to look up their stuff, but I would say they have rope to get down if they need to. It would take time, to tie a knot and to descend rather than just jumping off. But
you need Gulbrand to make any checks to boost them to the ledges.
I need Gulbrand, Tally, and Zatari to all make stealth checks, and Gulbrand to make 2 strength checks. Or you could choose athletics or acrobatics. Well, no, athletics.
Tally is invisible.
Of course.
Yeah, he is.
Gulbrand's a little
I have to roll
clunkier.
Zatari too. Zatari, are you stealthy? Not really.
Ooh. Okay. So Gulbrand, go ahead and roll your strength checks, and then we'll determine how this pans out.
Do I get to pick who I boost up first?
I was gonna say Tally since he was the first one, but
her.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fine.
And most likely to actually stealth.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, strength checks. Non-athletics, strength. Does it matter?
Athletics, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Roll. Okay. So
I'm not raging. Sucks.
Roll your other one, and we'll narrate through this. Okay. So Gulbrand and Tally and Zatari sort of sneak up in a small delta formation, and Gulbrand takes Tally and he tries to hoist him up, but Tally sort of flips back. Like instead of going straight up, it's almost like a backflip. Roll a dex save for Tally real quick. I think that's okay. Tally manages to land on his feet without causing too much of a ruckus. And as quick as he is, he when you launch him into the air, he sort of uses that leverage to grab onto some of the rough rocks that are sticking out and pull himself up, and he scrambles, not gracefully, but does manage to get up there fairly undetected. Gulbrand, you go to do the same thing with Zatari, and you push him up, and Zatari sort of grips onto the ledge, but he can't quite get himself up there. It's almost like when you're trying to get out of the pool, and it's like a little too high from the ledge, and he's trying to get his leg up there. He cusses a bit under his breath, and as you guys do this, give me 1 second. I'm gonna have them make a check. Once they're in position, you gather that the people did not hear you.
Oh.
Wow.
You got pretty fucking lucky. They seem
Lucky,
very
Uthgardt
focused
is
on
with
this
us,
story.
friends.
You said you were gonna wring his neck a second ago. I'd watch your fucking mouth.
Uthgardt gets it.
thought for sure someone was breaking a leg on that fail.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised
I
Gulbrand's
thought
not
about
wearing
making
wrist.
it a bigger, a bigger pain in the ass, but I'm not gonna,
Gulbrand slips, bangs his head on the fucking ledge. Ugh.
Gulbrand is unconscious. Whoops! Did not mean to do that.
Somehow his pouch of bloodweed falls into his face.
Face.
Lifting up Zatari.
Gulbrand rages,
stands up
screams,
raging.
and flips. Yeah.
All right, so since Zatari and Tally aren't here, I will say that Tally peeks around this corner where this first little entryway is, and
That's an entryway?
Oh, fuck.
Well, hang on. He peeks around into this entryway, and he sees that it's a series of connected. It's a very much less functionality and more appearance. It's meant to look like many halls going down this temple. And Zatari checks the opposite end and sees that it's much the same on this side.
So these are essentially just pillars.
Kind of. They're actually hewn from the mountainside. They have sconces in them. They seem to hold a purpose, and they're colossal. Again, 20 feet wide, but it is, there's nothing beyond them. Tally does slip around behind to get a little closer, as does Zatari. And Tally telepathically communicates with you. There seem to be 6 of them. Human. They look actually pretty similar to your kind, Gulbrand. Wearing a lot of furs. I can't make out details. But they do seem to be barbarian-esque.
So just double checking for Devin. Blue bears are all Goliaths.
They are not Goliaths. But yes.
But blue bears are all Goliaths.
Yes.
So he can infer immediately it's at least not. They're
Blue
at least
bear
not blue bears because he said they're human.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
barbarians, as in we got a bunch of berserkers, raging, beefy boys.
I killed
Mm.
barbarians in my sleeps. Well,
Okay.
that was a long time ago.
Not in your sleeps, but yes.
We
Only in
can
your
s-
visions. In your.
We can attempt to approach his dens if you want. It seems Tally seems to indicate they might be the only ways forwards. We can attempt to not do this violently if you think that's he moves his hand a little bit
We
that
should
I can
attempt-
get in on what's the word, reputations alone, but that is not guaranteed. For all I know, is they'll be like, wait a second, we wants to kill that fuckers.
I think we should at least try to do it non-violently, and if they want to get violent, then they want to get violent. We have a 20-foot giant back,
Oh, that's true. Forgot about
Yeah.
that.
and he's gonna have a 300-foot running head start to blast him into the wall.
I forgot to brought the giants. This is a good point.
Yeah.
Days behind me, so I guess I will goes first. I will arrange my furs so that all my tattoos are visible. I will use my axe like a walking stick. And I guess, unless anyone else has anything they want to do, Gulbrand will check with the other two to make sure they're ready to go.
I mean,
Zatari and Tally dip their head to nod. As you take out your axe, you again get an appreciation for it. This fine black meteorite that's been not forged, it wasn't melted down, it was sort of chiseled into this shape. The stone and the bone and the polished bits, the ram skull that's on it, it's a very finely made weapon. And as you go to set it down, like the stone strikes the stone and an echo lightly vibrates through the hallway, and immediately the one who seems to be in charge, the larger of the figures, turns to face you. And you three proceed down the hall. He immediately alerts his men and women, and they seem to they stop working and immediately draw their weapons and gather up defensively, but make no move to fire.
Is it at all possible Gulbrand could have left the skull with Harshnag? I kind of assumed at this point he's like strapped to his back in some way, but could he have, upon like Tally being like, there's people in there, could he?
Yeah, we can say
cut
that.
it off and left it.
We'll retroactively let you fix that. Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't want them to know he has that. Yet.
Okay.
All right. Does he know what tribe they are now that we're a little closer? Does he have any clue?
This is where it's a little tricky. You've never had direct dealings with this tribe. They're rather remote.
Okay. Well, then he probably wouldn't. He all seems engaged. How many Uthgarts does it take to open the doors? I'm assuming that's a door or something like.
That's a knock-knock joke. The leader of these people says, "Halt there, Blue Bear. We have no need for your assistances. What is it that you come to this place for? Speak quickly."
Well, it seems we came the same as you to get inside. Seems you're having difficulties.
We are not having difficulties. The door is just one hindrance in us recovering what was taken from us.
What was taken from
You comes to a giant took the things from your stands. You comes back to take its backs.
A giant took more than just artifacts. He took some of our people.
Alive?
Was taken alive. We can nearly hope that they still are.
We come from a similar place. A giant has taken our artifact from Nightstone and not been so kind to the people that they did take.
I should also preface, they're speaking exclusively in Balthi.
Okay, well then I don't understand.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier. Then.
I'm just looking at Gulbrand like. Hey,
When I see that face, Gulbrand will. Do you speak commons? I would.
Wormblood. Wormblood spits and says, "I have no need of sharing anythings with your civilized traveling partners.
These twos are fully blooded. You would do well to respect them.
I would ask, well, make a persuasion check."
Oh boy.
He said, "Oh boy."
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
So,
I will not speak for you. I will not change my presentation of speech for the comfort of some people who cower behind walls. They have no business here.
Fair enough. You seek to get ins and you seek to return tribes members to the tribes.
Indeed.
This I can respect. And may even be willing to help you if you are open-minded.
Make another
Do you
persuasion.
knows what...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well.
No, go ahead and say what
Do
you
you
said.
knows what this means? He's gonna turn and show a piece of ink that stretches across his back. It would be his, like, you know, his claws were his first claws.
Yeah.
This would be when he was fully realized as a
Starkeeper. You all watch as Gulbrand turns, and he's already dropped the bear cloak a bit, and in the flickering light from these sconces high above you, you see what looks to be several constellations drawn out, specks of ink that are connected with thin, fine lines. Don't seem to make any, as constellations do. You gather there's some type of form or figure to it, but it's impossible to tell precisely what. Wormblood, as he introduces himself. And from that title, you gather he is from the Great Wyrm tribe that resides not far from this place. I do understand that you are one gifted with prescience, or cursed, depending on whom you should ask. You seek not to... Do you seek to take that which you find within?
Like meta-wise, no, we weren't planning on taking any of that.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not why we came.
Okay,
But
that's an
mostly
honest...
I show this to you so that you know he'll wave his hand. I have led a tribe. I am no fools. I can navigate you through this, if not safely, at least to a compromise. We perhaps can help you get through the doors, but that would mean you must grant safety to my parties, even some you may not like to seize.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh,
But say if you mentioned the frost giant, that was gonna lose some favor.
Well.
But
Oh, God.
Wow.
we will have no party to your misadventures. And he shouts what you understand as a war cry. And immediately, all of them draw their weapons. Everybody roll initiative.
Yeah, here we go, yeah. Gulbrand's like, start shooting, motherfuckers.
You never said he didn't understand common?
From his response, you gather he knows common, but he doesn't deem you worthy to speak to, and for lack of a better
I
word.
guess it's late now. Alright, initiative. That's for Davos.
5 and
Tally.
6.
Is it a free action to call for Harshnag? Well, I guess Gulbrand's just gonna scream.
Harshnag will get his turn at initiatives, yeah. Once he hears shit going down, he's all about it. Tile up and 8. That's the lowest roll Tally has ever gotten for initiative.
Wow, thanks. I hope he listens to that. Knows that I'm rolling very well for him.
Oh, thank God Bergen didn't actually roll a 1.
Yeah, I don't know why that rolled twice.
What does he get to initiative?
That's Bergen's highest roll for initiative.
Yeah, Def was gonna say.
Fuck, where's
Man,
his
I don't know
initiative?
what happened, but Gulbrand, the last, let me see here. After that 16, I have a 1, a 10, a 2, a 5, a 1, and a 5.
Dude, I mean, y'all remember was it my Pally?
Yeah, your first, the Eberron campaign?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No,
Your
no kidding. You're not wrong.
Did you say your palace?
Pally,
Paladin.
my Paladin.
Oh, yeah,
From
yeah.
the Eberron campaign.
No,
It was
yeah.
just
Cute.
horrible.
Quinlan.
Cute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there's this big slab over you guys. I'm going to delete this. You'll see those T's. Those are not traps. I covered that because I didn't want you guys to think it was traps and act accordingly. Because I feel like T was just a stupid marker to use there. But, alright. We'll go ahead and get down to business. Derverse. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Shit, these are 20-foot squares, 20, 40, 60,
Yeah.
80, 100.
You hear him shout this, and immediately you're like, alright, that's not civilized talk. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. Gulbrand's reached in for his bloodweed, like it's about to go down.
Let's see. I didn't think I'd be going first.
Yeah, that's a first, actually.
Right. Oh, man. I'm looking at... Alright. Look for some AoE or something. Maybe not. Guiding bolt is 120 feet. That's the only thing I could do. I will move 20 feet forward. Then guiding bolt, Wormblood.
Get him.
In the face, second level.
In the face. 14 does hit. 16 radiant damage.
And let's see, bonus action. There it is.
I forget what I do for this one.
Okay.
I think it's that one.
that.
Oh no, it's that one. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm still 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. I can move, what, 10 more feet? 30 feet per turn?
Yeah, about.
So,
Basically, you have to move a square and a half. I will say 2 squares just to make it a little simpler.
alright. I'll move max distance forward. Make sure. Yeah, I think that's it.
You
Call it.
fire off this blast of radiant energy that hits Wormblood square in the chest. And he looks at you furiously. As
Told
two...
you he was fully blooded.
Roll for taunt. As 2 of the berserkers charge forward. They get to about there. Where's the other one? Green and the yellow are the first 2 up. I don't think they have anything raged. They do not, or anything ranged, but they both begin to rage as you gather, and you realize they are full-blooded barbarians. With that, you hear a bellow as Harshnag comes charging through into the entryway of the temple, makes it to about there, and hurls an enormous stone over at them. What's he get to add to that? Okay, he's gonna aim for the chief fucker. Oh, he do hit. And he does a
I also
solid
told
chunk
you
of that.
we had the friends.
You watch as this enormous
Big
boulder comes hurling over your heads and collides into Wormblood's chest, knocking him back. Excuse me. There we go. Knocking him back up the stairs a little bit, and because he's on the stairway, the rock, he sort of shoves the rock and it rolls us down. Doesn't have enough momentum to be a threat to you guys, but he might have been pinned under it had he not been on the angle. You watch as one of the other barbarians, this blue fucker, he comes up and he also rages. Taliband pops out from this corner. Surprise, motherfucker!
Can I be hidden?
I'm sorry?
Can he be hidden?
Yeah, okay, you can say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have moved him. You could say he's still hid.
Because that gives me advantage?
Yes.
Or no?
It will.
And I would.
Yeah, it gives you advantage, and you get to use stealth attack.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. Is that stealth? All right. I guess the closest one, the blue, is that B.
Yes, sir.
Berserker B. I will do 2 shots of Kai Karim.
Get him. The first one hits. Go ahead and roll sneak attack damage with that.
It's 2d6. I'm gonna just do it this way. Oh, that's
Oh.
actually typical for Tally. And that one
Yeah.
is one of the rolls.
That's right. Well, that's 13 damage altogether. You
I
watch
don't think
as
he
you don't even see Tally. You just see these 2 knives come throwing down, and while one goes a little too far forward, the second one catches him in the neck and immediately wincing. Oh, Devin, rage does not have psychic damage. No,
Yes,
Like,
even with my
even
thing.
I was about to
yes.
say, even with your perk, it's never halved.
Yes,
Okay,
that's the only thing that's not halved.
all right. Anything else for Talibundo? I think he has the bonus action, Kai Karim. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. May have rolled it wrong for damage.
Was the second one?
The second one should
I think
be
he gets
Psychic Blade,
2.
which-
I think he gets 2 attacks, and then he also
Yeah.
gets the bonus action. So you're good so far.
Okay, so I could still do a bonus action?
Yes, sir. I'm
Alright.
fairly certain. 15 do hit.
And I guess ignore that sneak attack.
I was about to say the sneak doesn't kick in for this one because he's aware of your
Right.
presence now. But you do get in the 4.
Boy, and I already used the sneak attack.
Oh yeah, you're right. And that brings it to this berserker. He makes it a little further. Also rages. Zatari.
Zatari is wow. I guess it's hard to stay hidden when you have a boomstick. But he'll take his first shot hidden so he can have
So
advantage.
sexual.
Okay.
For what, boomstick? They said it'd
Yeah.
say my go-go stick.
Oh boy.
Disco stick? Disco stick.
Disgusted. Let's have.
I guess
some fun
that one.
with
That's the
the
closest
stick.
one.
Yeah. He would have to get pretty much at the edge of the ledge to fire on that one, but yeah.
Yeah, well, he just wants the advantage on that first shot because he's not going to be able to keep it after that.
Yeah, get him. The 22 hits, and the 10 damage is halved.
That's halved. Indeed. So he'll use his second attack on the same one. Just keep shooting.
That also hits.
I imagine he makes some smart ass quip at Gulbrand about his stinky friends.
I need a raging. There we go. We'll use that for now.
That's all he's got, I believe. He might do some stuff next turn. Oh, he might do some stuff next turn. We'll see.
Okay.
Oh, he could have pepper sprayed and got a punch of them, probably. Alright, anyway.
You watch as the chief, Wormblood, furious, bleeding a little bit, glowing with this divine energy that Davos has sort of wreathed him in, takes out a hand axe and hurls it at Davos.
Bitch, please.
Ooh, he did not roll well. 13, I'm guessing, doesn't hit. Okay.
Nope.
Um,
Gotta
was
be in
stacked.
19 to hit this beefy boy.
Damn.
That does go wide. Oh, I'm sorry, because I forgot he had this. He will use his reckless attack. That
Oh,
definitely
wait,
hits. That's a
reckless-
24.
It doesn't have to be a melee.
I will double check.
When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack rigorously. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls. I
Melee
guess
weapon
that still is a
attacks.
melee weapon attack roll, though. I don't know
He's
how that
using
works.
it as a ranged weapon, so I would say no.
Got 120, 90.
He
On that
because he
range?
can't quite get to you guys. I think the throne is
80
120.
foot.
He can't quite get to you to do melee attacks, but he did attack recklessly nonetheless. So he is and rage is a bonus action, yeah, Devin?
Yes.
Bonus action to rage. Okay. I'll use that, and we'll throw that on there. Loop. It's a lot of symbols on that one dude. The last Berserker comes up. And likewise is actually going to throw his axe as well. Also at Davos. They're not throwing their great axes. They're throwing hand axes. I should, just make it clear. Ooh,
Gulbrand would do that, but he's too cool. He makes starry
15.
spears.
15 does not hit.
Not
You're a
hit.
pretty tanky boy. All right.
1-9.
1-9. That brings it to Gully Boy. That last one will also rage.
I'm like freaking Neo in the Matrix in this biatch.
Yeah, he is.
All right.
By the way, the new one sucks.
I was gonna mention something about that. Devin, what you got?
What you got? So, before I go, can I reach him? Like if I move my
now
full
you
movement
can.
speed, now I could reach him?
Yeah.
That kind of changes what he was gonna
Great
do.
axe.
To the face.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I can't rage and starry form. So, what I think he will do this turn is he will just go ahead, take his bloodweed out, snort a line, rage, and meet this dude on the charge.
Okay.
And, he gonna do what he did when he was first claw, and he's gonna meet the head honcho and start swinging.
Get it?
The
He only
Axe
gets to
of
do it
Avril
once.
Lavine.
Get it.
Avril
Avril Lavine.
The Axe of Avril Lavine. All right. New headcanon. That do hits. That does not count your +1 damage. Is that correct? 7?
That does not count my +1 damage. That is correct. I don't see it listed on there.
Rolled pretty crummy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, if it's the axe that I put on your thing, it should have it.
Well, it has it on the to hit, but I don't see it. Oh, no, I see it now. It's added to the strength.
I was about to say, because
So,
we have a
it is
3
on
strength. Okay.
That doesn't count the +2 for rage, so that's technically
That's
9.
a D12.
Get it. He
That's
is... Oh, I'm sorry. Roll one more time for your hit, just to see if you crit, because he does have, technically... You do have advantage on this.
Okay, I got you. So this is a magical weapon. Is he still resistant to that?
I don't know, Barbarian. You tell me.
I was looking it up a second ago. You distracted me with your reckless attack questions. Oh, where did it go? Yes. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, that's all it says.
Okay, and this is a slashing damage. So he will take half of that, which will be rounded up to 4. And unless Gulbrand has anything else?
No. Oh, you already put a rage thing on you.
Do you get a second?
No, that took all of his stuff. Not yet. One more
Okay.
level.
Gotcha. Bergine.
Has to be.
Alright.
I think I got 2 more levels before mine. If not 3.
Oh, yeah, because you went
There.
more bard. Well, doesn't College of
3.
Swords give you an extra attack? At some point?
I thought at level 5 bard, so that'd be level 8 for me.
Gotcha.
I'll double check it, but yeah, I thought that's what it was.
What you got, Berg?
Now, right here, I'm gonna throw down my spiritual weapon.
Oh, yeah. Get it.
Dude,
Getting spiritual. I like it. Gonna make this
And
your
that's
color.
gonna be on this dude, right? The guy he's standing right in fucking front of. The obvious one.
Clash of
asshole.
Demon Head.
All right. Go ahead and 13.
I don't have
13
no way.
meets. So you just
Oh,
barely got
shit.
them. Yeah, they're not very heavily armored. You look at them, and Gulbrand has this chitinous centipede armor that he made, but these guys are literally just furs and rough bits of leather. So that do hits. He does. This is force damage, which he does not have resistance to. So he does technically take the whole amount.
Oh,
And he,
damn.
and as you pop him, he's bloodied. He's looking pretty rough. That uses your bonus action. So what's your action, my dude? Did you just do the John Cena? Dun, 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 dun. Bergen just goes like this.
I think that's
That's-
about all I can do. That's about as far as I can move right there, yeah. From where I was.
Oh, did you move up
That's-
already? Oh, that's right, because you were back
Yeah,
there.
I did.
It's a
Yeah,
somatic
you
component.
can't quite. I cast invisibility. I don't think.
Yeah, I can't quite reach him.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think you can quite get there.
Yeah, so I think that's about all. I'm just gonna yell out like, "I'm sorry, it had to be this way, you filthy fucks."
Filthy fucks. I love it. Davos, what you
This
got? man?
hurts me more than it hurts you.
Smothers them.
Translates.
What you got, D-Man?
You know, bonding with Gulbrand, he taught me this lullaby that his mom used to sing him, so I figured maybe it was a common barbarian thing. So I'm gonna second level sleep. 78.
Interesting.
As soon as you said lullaby, I knew where it was going, but I love the thematics of it. That's beautiful.
Let's see. 78. There's
That's a delightful
5,
spin you put on that
and
song.
then 2.
Oh,
That
man.
sucks.
3-1?
That sucked.
17.
Can I hit the 1?
None of them have 17 hit points.
Okay, thanks for that.
I'm sorry, my dude.
Alright.
Is that a bonus action at least?
That was an action.
That was an action. Ooh. What you got for your bonus action, my dude?
Light of Lathander on Wormblood.
It's a cone, isn't it?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's big enough to hit them in this space.
To hit them.
They're
I see.
technically... They're probably
I'm more
about
worried
20
about hitting
feet behind him.
Gulbrand.
No, you're good. You can angle it to where it's not a concern.
Alright.
Okay, he'll make a con save. His con's pretty solid, fair warning. Let me double check it before I go. Oh, but not enough. He rolled a 9. So he takes the 5 damage, because it's radiant. He takes the full amount. 28, and he is blinded.
You're welcome.
And until the end of next turn, you have a bonus if you hit him.
A bonus
God,
is an
he
advantage.
has like 6 different icons on him. I love it.
Pretty great.
All right.
I'm really enjoying the mental image of Gulbrand, Bergen, and Davos just all lined up here in this hallway, like.
Plus your 2 snipey boys up top. I mean, really
Yeah,
beautiful.
quite the formation.
Got this guy with a purple sword hanging out of his neck right now. Tiger him.
All right. It goes up to the next round of burbs. I think this is blue. No, excuse me. This is yellow and purple. Yellow is just close enough to get to Davos. Purple. No, it's not purple. I'm sorry. Is it orange? It'd be green. He can get up close enough to hit Gulbrand. So they're both going to swing at you two respectively.
I can try.
Yellow
Probably
swings. 19 for yellow.
Meets.
So do 9 damage to Gulbrand. Or I'm sorry, to Davos. The second one misses. Oh, I'm sorry. They have reckless. They are recklessing. I need to remember that. Oh, and take 2 more damage. Davos.
For
For
Rage.
reckless. Gulbrand, the second one does hit. Take 11, half to 5. Harshnag, again, he gets a good bit of movement. What, 40? Technically, that's only 2 squares, but we're gonna help him out a little bit. He comes in and I almost like to think like he's broken off bits of snow from the mountainside, bits of ice, and is just hurling these basically giant snowballs. He's going to, seeing that you guys are kind of converging in this area, he doesn't want to accidentally hit one of you guys, so he's going to aim toward the purple guy in the back. Ooh, that's not a great one, but he gets to add a good bit to it. 17 hits. Oh my god, 28 damage.
Holy shit.
I think Raw, they carry bags of rocks. Of
They
boulders.
do. I just like the thematic of like
Yeah, I
hurling
do
these
too,
stones.
same.
Like,
I was just thinking about that. I was like,
this is bludgeoning damage, so it is halved, so it's only 14. Okay. Berserker B, which I think is Blue Boy. Yeah. He's gonna come up. He could probably get on the other side of this guy. Technically, I think he's still too far to hit Bergen. I think he's still 10 feet away from Berg. So he's going to make a reckless on Gulbrand.
Berg's keeping that chevron tight.
Oh, I think that does it. 18?
Yeah.
Okay. Take another 6 damage, please.
6 or 5? Oh, you're rolling. Of course, I see. Never mind.
6, yeah. This is the half of the 13.
I got you.
Talabundo.
Oh crap, that's me.
I'm sorry.
Same thing. Well, is he still technically hidden?
You have to use a
Rehide.
bonus action to hide if you want to rehide, because right now they know where you are.
Well,
But you can
yellow
just
is
throw.
within 5 feet of me, Davos,
Yes.
and red is
Yeah,
within
you do
5
have
feet.
advantage because of that, but you're not hidden.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it was mostly for the sneak attack. Okay, I'm gonna go yellow on the Kai Karim. Did it do 2? Yeah, 20 and 15.
Give me 1 second. I need to look up one thing. I don't. I think reckless attack gives them advantage on. Fuck. I think reckless attack gives them advantage on melee attacks.
This is range psychic.
Let me see. Attack rolls against you. So no, yeah, it can be. All right. Yeah. So the first one does hit, does the 10, and is not hindered. You said to yellow.
Yes.
All right. All right. So that was
The
swing
second
1.
one. Second was a 15.
Oh, 15 also hits. I'm sorry, I thought you were rolling for advantage, but obviously the first one hits. 8.
For 8
You
damage.
do still have one more.
And that's the psychic blaze.
Yeah.
And go ahead and add the sneak attack damage there too.
Gotcha. The sneak attack, what type of damage is that?
It just says bonus. Let me look it up again.
Okay.
I
It's probably
imagine
whatever
it's
the
gonna
weapon
be-
damage is,
I'm
which would make
assuming?
sense. So 12 more. That one's looking pretty roughed up. You guys have, that one is bloodied. The yellow one is. Berserker E, which I think is Orangey Boy? Yeah. Orangey Boy can get close enough to hit Bergen, and he sees Bergen's kind of missing out on some of the affection here, so he's going to go in and swing.
Back him with his shield, Bergen. Do it.
He is also swinging reckless. A 14 does not hit, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and he rolled lower the second time, so you are good there. And Zatatat.
Zed tet tet. So, if Zatari tried to use his pepper spray, what does this say? Range 80. Is it? Is it a
He can hit-
cone? What is it?
Well, it's 3 targets. You can choose the same target 3 times,
Oh.
or you can choose 3 separate targets. As
He'll
long as
go
they're
ahead,
all
I
within
guess,
range.
2. That takes 3. He'll have 1 left. Alright, so he'll use his first attack to pepper spray and his second attack to reload. I know he has 1 left after that, but...
Well, if you're using pepper spray, it uses your action and your bonus action in their entirety.
But he gets 2 attacks per action or whatever. And last game, he was using 1 of those attacks to reload.
Yeah, I'll allow it. That's a little tricky, but yeah.
Yeah. It's whatever you decide.
So
But
roll your-
regardless,
roll
he
your
does
3
want a
hits.
pepper spray. Yeah, he wants to pepper spray the guy that's blind, the leader dude.
Yeah.
He wants to get the guy that Davos is hurt, and I guess he'll get Orangey Boy there that just snuck up on Bergen.
Okay, so yellow, red, orange.
Yes.
All right, so pop, pop, pop. I'm going to do these just from top to bottom.
Okay.
11 piercing, half to 6. Oh, wait a second.
Does he get advantage on what's his name for being blinded?
That's
He's
not right.
blinded, did he?
He has advantage on the middle one, yes, sir. So we'll say those last 2 are for the middle one. So the first one does hit, so we'll do the 12. Half to 6.
How did? Oh, you're Collie. God, Collie, you scared me. You need 1 more roll.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I thought Collie was the new puppy. And I was like, how did you get over here?
Kali is death incarnate.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Rolling out.
22, half, 6, half to 3. And that was to Orangey Boy, or is that Green Boy?
Orangey Boy.
Okay.
The Vols fan.
Wow, Devin, shooting one of your own. That's a little sad point. All right.
It's been years since it's been a good time to be a Tennessee fan.
All right. That brings it to Berserker A, which is not Arvendale. Fuck, Wormblood. He's gonna go for another swing on you, Davos. First swing is a 15. That hits you.
No. Davos? No.
I'm sorry, Gulbrand. Did I say Davos?
No. You
Yeah.
did.
You said 15?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that hits. Sorry.
Okay. You're fine. So you 9, 11, take 5 damage. That's already halved.
5 damage. Can I use my reaction to do the thing? Let's see.
Your stone's endurance or whatever.
No, where'd it go? It is a reaction, right? Yeah. When you take damage from a creature within 10 feet of you, you force him to make a saving throw. And he does the thing. He got out of his feet or whatever.
Does the thing.
It's the knockback.
Oh, yes. So,
we'll
what
look that
save?
Really quick. It's a DC 14 strength saving throw. I know they're probably pretty good at that, but
They're pretty bulky, but
burn one of those while I could.
22. I'm sorry, my dude. You go to like shove him, and he is human, and he's a little shorter than you. He is stout. I mean, he's the leader of his tribe for a reason. He's big boy. You go to like shove him with your axe, and he just like uses his axe to almost like lock against it, and just sort of grins at you as you try to push him back.
So, is he blinded? Does that have anything to do with?
It would have for your attack. I don't think it would for the saving throw.
But he is blinded? I was going to pull it up to a blinded meant.
Blinded is you have advantage to hit. He has disadvantage. But he's using a reckless attack, which it would cancel out.
Okay.
This says a blinded creature can't see and automatically fails any ability check that requires sight. That's the only other thing I see.
You're pushing him. You're trying to shove him. I don't think it's sight based.
Well, yeah. This says what is this?
He also knows you're.
It is force damage. It's up to you. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Nah. I would say that he knows that you're. I would say he knows that you're there. Like, so he's not surprised when you try to run up on him.
Blast him.
So that's 11 force damage. It's halved because he passed, and then it's halved to. Oh, it's force damage, so it's only halved at once.
Yeah. Kyle, do you want to go over there?
Sorry, math. Gulbrand, what you got?
Gulbrand.
Or, I'm sorry. There's one more.
Yeah.
Who is gonna throw his second axe at Zatari. Oh, a nat 20. That definitely hits. What does he get for damage?
Roman, leave it. Leave it.
Oh, that's not bad. 13 damage to Zatari.
I got you. I'm gonna do it on paper because I can't do it on thing.
What's his total, and I'll keep up with it?
It's 59.
So he's now at, what did I say, 13? So he's now at 46. All right, Bergen. Or I'm sorry, Gulbrand.
Lost here. How does the dude look in front of me? Does he look bloodied?
He's pretty fucked up. He's
pretty fucked up?
Yeah, he
all
was...
Right, Gulbrand,
especially with all the conditions he's under.
Yeah, Gulbrand might potentially lose a turn to try to do this, but he's going to try to do it anyway. What he wants to do, if he can, he wants to grab the dude by the throat, and if he can, he wants to pick him up. And he wants to look to the other barbarians, and he wants to say, these are harrowing times to lose a first clause. It could be wise to put two leaves now, so he won't say put your weapons down. But
why don't you... We'll treat this as a grapple. Because he's blinded, you have advantage. So roll twice and he'll roll once.
Raging too. Sad face.
Okay, well in that case, you roll twice, he'll roll twice. He has disadvantage. Glad you had. Oh, is that 8?
Yeah, it still sucks.
It's advantage.
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to beat him.
Yeah, he's not good.
Well, he has disadvantage. Let me roll again. No, the lowest he rolled was a 15. So you go to grab him by the throat, and before you can even lift him, he takes like the side of his axe and like knocks your arm aside.
That's okay.
We'll skip the thematic of it since you didn't actually lift him, but that'll use your action. If you want to use a bonus action, you still can.
Well, I guess I will light up and throw a javelin.
Can you do that as part of the same action?
It is a bonus action, yes, sir. Or when you use your bonus action to do it, you throw the javelin when you do it.
It's a ranged attack, so if you're aiming at him, I think you have. Well, he's blinded, so it'll be one roll.
Oh,
wait, hang on, wait. So hang on. So it's one roll normally. It's disadvantage because you have that. It's advantage because you're raging. I think but disadvantage.
Well, I wouldn't.
But advantage again because he's blinded. So yeah, two rolls.
I mean, I wouldn't get advantage for throwing the thing because of rage.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But,
so just one roll in that case.
It would just be one roll. He's gonna go and throw it at him in that case, since it would just be one roll. Where are my fucking bonus actions? Sorry, I got
under
distracted.
the tab. There's this fucking bonus.
I warned them. I tried to warn them.
All right, roll your damage. Oh, that's
wow, suck ass crit. Whatever.
That's roll another
Shit
D8
happens.
for me.
Hold on. Oh,
He's
none of that's
You
half,
watch-
right? Because that's all radiant.
I was about to say that's sort of the tilting factor here. You watch as Gulbrand, after having his hand knocked aside, pulls back another starbeam and almost doesn't even throw it, just sort of stabs it into the neck of this barbarian. You watch him fall to his knees.
Ooh, I got one. I think when he smacks his hand out of the way, he just grabs the axe, lights up, makes the spear, and pulls him forward like onto
Into
it,
the
runs
spear?
through his stomach. Like,
Beautiful.
Should have gone for the head.
You watch as Chief Wormblood of the Great Wyrm tribe looks at you in a mix of shock at you using the. I mean, you guys know that Uthgardt Barbarians have an aversion to magic anyway, and to be slain in this way, he almost seems dishonored, like disappointed that this is the end that he meets, and he looks up at you, and he goes limp. Roll an intimidation check with
Gulbrand
advantage.
took a piss on him.
I was supposed to say, just for flavor, Gulbrand spits on his face.
Oh,
Ooh.
come on.
It didn't go over well.
You
Davos-
kind of disgraced him.
Yeah, Davos, roll for arousal because you're a bard. You're into that shit. Dude, you've been rolling like
No.
shit today. I am so sorry. They do not retreat,
I'd be pissed too.
but
It will when I'm done this.
Bjergin, got 3 barbarians lined up in front of you.
Yes, I do. If only I had a bone spear. It's,
Run them through.
What is that from?
Diablo 2. It's a necromancer thing. I'm gonna, with the spiritual weapon, quack at fucking green.
Clack it green away, my dude.
Yeah.
This is force, so it's not halved. You do have advantage on this hit.
Mhm.
Don't need it. Roll your damage.
Oh, whoops.
Roll another d8 for me, because that didn't add it in.
So it didn't.
Okay. And you still have your action.
And, let me see here. Yeah, I'm just gonna swing at orange.
Get him.
That's one of my favorite things about clerics. They can heal you a bunch, or they can just fuck shit
The
up.
8 does not hit. Davos.
Since it's top turn order, you want to take a break? No,
Oh, is it
keep
11
going.
already?
Yep.
Fuck me. Okay. Well, I can tell you boys what you aren't going to finish tonight.
What?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a break. Actually, we're gonna do one quick thing. Let me see if the roll pans out. Plus
Like a
7.
morale check.
Harshnag sees you make this sort of speech as you run this guy through, and he sees the others who are beginning to be a bit skittish, but not quite fleeing, and Harshnag just bellows down the hallway, and he does so in common. Leave my hall, or forever lie in its tomb. And he rolled not a natural 20, but a dirty 20. And we will say that with that, the barbarians sort of look to you, and they lower their weapons. If you let them by, they will flee.
Gulbrand ain't gonna stop him.
Yeah, I'll let
Bergen certainly won't.
Zatari shoots him for fun. No. They run through the hall very cautiously past Harshnag, who stands sentinel, like waiting for any type of hesitation, and they flee off into the snow. And that is where we'll go ahead and take our break, my dudes.
There we go.
All right.
Thanks,
see you
big
guys.
guy.
Yeah, see y'all back in about 10. Oh, hello there.
Alright, a-hole.
Well, I also came down with a bag of chips, so as soon as I saw it, I'm like, all right, I gotta do something here.
That was good. I enjoyed it.
What you got there, man?
It's actually quinoa chips.
Oh, that sounds pretty fucking sick.
How
It's
are
just
they?
a sea salt, which is, I mean, it's a plain salt chip, but they have like a sour cream and onion. It's really,
I've had that brand before, Simply 7.
yeah. It's similar to like the what is it, the sun chips,
Yeah,
as far as
Ah,
like
I love
texture.
sun chips.
Maybe a
same.
little bit
Fuck 'em up.
softer, without the wheat flavor.
I've got kettle cooked jalapeno chips, and they're
Okay.
That's
fucking
fucking
lit.
jam.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love jalapeno chips. It's a problem.
Have you ever had the jalapeno fucking Cheetos?
Oh my
Those things are
god. Do
fucking
you know
ridiculous.
Carrie Ann? I don't think you do.
I don't-
One of my good
Oh,
friends.
Stuart? What?
Yeah, that you do. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and her. Oh my god, we would tear through some fucking jalapeno Cheetos. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We would go in because we're both theater kids, so we would go and like watch a musical and like go through a bag each and like, God.
Nice, yeah. I was gonna say I could fill a bag in one sitting easy, though I shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, well, I'll hate myself in about 20 minutes, but god damn if these aren't fucking delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I had some on my plate earlier. I'm sorry. I'm sure this crunch is really annoying. I'll mute myself in a second. I had some of these on my plate earlier, and my kid took a couple, and he took one. I'm like, you're not gonna like that, buddy. And he took a couple bites. He was like, oh, this is fine. And then by the time he got like half into the second one, he was like, water.
Kudos for trying new things, though.
I mean, to be fair, he thought it was just a potato chip. But sometimes he's good with like trying new things, but what am I
My
trying to
almost
do?
3-year-old thinks anything carbonated is spicy, which is good because it doesn't drink soda. But
Yeah.
come on,
No, I feel you. My kid does not like sandwiches. Anything that's like a burger, a sandwich, a hot dog, anything that has bread on it, he's like, nah. Which is weird because he'll
What?
eat just pieces of bread. But like,
right?
I made we're having a Valentine's Day party for him and a couple of his friends, and I made him a little sandwich and I cut the crust off and I cut it into little triangles and like, Atticus, these are the little sandwiches we're gonna be having at your Valentine's party. You gotta tell me if they're any good. And he took like one bite, like, those are yucky. And I'm like, you love everything on here individually, so I know you're full of shit.
Right.
but- God.
Yeah, mine's like a normal kid. Anything on a bun or bread is like typically good.
Right though, like I mean,
Like I eat grilled cheese all the time.
I can sometimes get him to do grilled cheese, but any other sandwich is out the window.
What about like a quesadilla?
Or
Case-
panini.
Tortillas are slightly different. He'll eat quesadillas. He won't do hard shell tacos. He'll do soft shell tacos sometimes. It's that one's sort of a, I don't know, I guess his mood.
Yeah,
Fucking kids, man, picky as shit.
Yeah, I was super picky as a kid.
I mean, there's a few things I didn't like. Like I didn't like tomatoes and onions, and everything else was pretty fair game.
yeah.
well-
I wasn't big on onions as a kid, but like
I
I
like-
put it in everything.
Yeah, now fucking fried onions just straight up.
I mean, fried onions, grilled onions, goddamn, all day. But like any type of raw onion, it ruins the entire dish for me. Just, ugh.
Mm,
Even if
it is
like,
very strong.
I know what you mean, but like I just had raw green onions in my stew tonight. It like elevated it.
green onion's a
Like-
little better, but like red onion, white, yellow.
Red is. I
eh.
mean, you eat guacamole. It has red onions in it.
I mean, I try to get the kind that does not have them in chunks at least. Like if it's
Okay.
shaved and it's like thin, maybe, but
Like pico de gallo.
no, can't do
Mm.
pico.
I love that shit.
I mean, it's mostly tomatoes though.
Yeah, not a fan.
Hmm.
I do have a... My grandmother has a friend that'll fucking eat, like, Vidalia onions, just like apples.
Yeah, man, I've
Like
seen
that
people do
kid.
that
You
shit.
see that video? Oh my.
That is hardcore.
I
be cray.
can't do that. Like my wife, she's into like natural remedies and stuff.
Mhm.
So for like a sore throat, she'll take red onions and like sugar, and I guess it forms like this juice, and she'll
Yeah,
like spoon of
macerates
that.
them.
Dude, I tried it. I'm like, I know I'm not gonna like it, but it was weird.
be.
But same thing, like it didn't give me indigestion, but that feeling.
I got you, though. Alright, my dudes. We are all back, so we'll go ahead and get back to this shit. I'll try to take us from this battle-y music into something a little more fun.
What's more fun than battle music?
Maybe more passive is something I should have said. Alright, so you guys come to the end of this this long hallway. And you see these two immense brass double doors. Actually, I think they're stone. I'm sorry. Two stone double doors that are 40 feet tall. And you see what the barbarians were doing is they were chipping away some of the ice. As you guys have come in here, some of the snow from outside has blown in. And while the first 50 feet or so, there's quite a bit, there's very little as you go further in. But around where these stone doors meet, they are, it's sort of been sealed. So Harshnag, like, tries to shoulder it. And he shoulders it again. And it's not quite giving way. You need to remove the ice somehow before you can proceed within.
Is it magical ice?
You can make an Arcana check.
Let's see, who's better, me or Tally?
What does Sirius think about it?
I forget he's with us.
If he can even.
So Sirius doesn't seem interested in it itself. He does seem like, well, his range is only 30 feet. No, it doesn't really seem interested in it. Davos, you look at it, and you can't quite tell if it was made by magical means or if it is natural ice, but it does not seem magic in itself.
It's not like radiating magic.
One more time?
I said it's not like radiating magic.
No, yeah, correct.
Gulbrand will, like he did with the bridge, he'll produce flame, and he'll see if he can melt it. If it refreezes like the bridge did, he's gonna.
It's a little warmer in here. I will say that no one else has any fire magic, do they? Oh, Zatari.
I can sing a song about fire.
Zatari takes out his rapier and uses flame shot, which works for any weapon, and his blade engulfs in flame. And between the two of you, very quickly, I'd say less than 10 minutes, you guys manage to melt enough to where Harshnag shoulders it. First one, it moves just a bit. Second one bursts open. And you guys see the next chamber, the Eye of the Allfather. We reveal this to you, and then I'll read you some shit. Also, if these chips are too loud, let me know. I'm sorry. All right. Thick frost clings to every surface of this 100-foot-high vaulted chamber. 7 enormous statues dominate the room. The largest of them is an 80-foot-tall robed giant, his arms outstretched and his face hidden beneath a stony cowl, facing a glowing archway on the east wall. Kneeling in rows on each side of his statue are 6 smaller statues, each impressive in their own right, depicting a paragon of a type of giant. Hill, stone, frost, fire, cloud, and storm. These smaller statues face the larger one. In their outstretched arms, 5 of the giants hold weapons, gifts for their Allfather. Only the frost giant is unarmed. The archway itself is 40 feet wide and 40 feet tall, and 6 different runes are carved into it, each one inlaid with mithril. The double doors... Oh, I'm sorry. There are double doors leading south and north that are covered with a 4-inch thick layer of ice as well. As Harshnag comes in, he tells you that the big statue in the middle depicts Annam the Allfather. The 6 smaller statues are his sons. Scorius Stonebones, Theorem, Strawnmas, Memnor, Surtur, and Grolantor. And I've tried to put a circle around each of them to help you to note which one is which, as far as element. Zatari
So
does...
Theorem is
sorry.
the frost one? Theorem is the frost one? Thrym?
Yes, sir.
Alright. That's the only one without a weapon.
Correct. And, well, I'll wait. Never mind. What do you...
I was gonna let you finish, but I do have another question.
Go ahead.
Does it look like, since he's the only one that's unarmed, been stolen? Like everyone's presenting a weapon, it's his hand presenting something that's just not there, or he's just, you know, doesn't have a weapon?
It's difficult to say. You gather from context alone that he should have one, but it's impossible to say whether it was stolen, lost, used in some manner.
Like his, you know, his arms might be like this with no weapon.
Yeah, all of them have their arms sort of upheld in some way to present their weapon, and he is no exception. And you notice that his hands are cupped in a way to where he would have something within his grasp.
Does Sirius pick up on anything about the other weapon?
He does not seem interested in the statues themselves, but the archway is very, very magical. And if you guys approach it, Zatari recognizes 2 of the runes. One he has on his, actually the one on the upper right and on the lower right he has on his legs. And since you guys are in here, oh well, it gives you the name, so maybe I shouldn't. Well, it doesn't tell you what they mean.
I read it.
Fuck you.
Is the altar glowing, or I'm sorry, not the altar, the
archway?
Archway? Is it? Because it looks like it's glowing in this.
It is glowing.
I see. Big scary.
Harshnag points to one of the runes. The one in the upper left. Excuse me, the one in the bottom right. This represents frost. It is a sign of my people. I do not know the others. And Zatari notes that the leg that he uses frost shot with has the same rune. And the Ild rune, the one in the upper left, is on the leg that used the thunder rune. I think that's right. Let me double check that.
How does he do fire shot? That's
Ild.
not rune related.
He doesn't have a fire shot. Oh, I said that earlier, didn't I? I'm sorry. He has a storm shot and a frost shot. Gulbrand could have done it with his spell. It would have just taken longer. So you guys still get in, no problem. It's actually the Uvar rune, which is the one in the upper right. Yeah, the upper right and the
like
lower
a
right.
thunder rune, you know?
Fuck off. What do you boys do, if anything?
Gulbrand takes a rock out of his back and throws it at the archway. Like, tries to throw it like through the mist, the glow, whatever.
It seems to be a faint mist. It bounces off the wall behind it and lands on the ground.
Interesting. The soul inspects theirs.
So is there like a chant, a prayer that we need to say to summon the oracle?
Harshnag shrugs. I did not know if we would make it this far.
Oracle is Annam, right? Annam.
It is an avatar of his, but I do not believe this to be. I believe this to be just a depiction. The oracle itself is more of an ethereal being.
Is this the place to present the offerings?
He shrugs. Perhaps.
Oh shit! Gulbrand goes back outside to get the skull.
I was about to
Harshnag
say,
brought it in when you guys came through the hallway.
as of now, I would question if we got a sacrifice in the mist, or if we want to. Is it the north and south have 4 separate doors?
There are doors that go north and south, 2 pairs each.
Oh, there are 2 pairs each. Yikes.
Do we want to try those?
You
before-
also see smaller doors that lead eastward that you gather may lead back to the way that you came through. The upper railings. Actually, I'll reveal those because you can see them to a degree.
the ledges. Okay, right.
The dotted lines there are portcullises, iron gateways.
How do you say those, Devin?
I think I would have probably said portcullis.
Pauldron, fuck you.
Not that that would have been the
There-
right way, but I would have stuttered over it. Portcullis.
There are also, are they barred? Let me look at this. There are locked iron doors on the north and south end of it as well.
So they're locked.
Yes, sir.
Like, with the chain and a lock that could be picked?
They are giant locks. You could try to pick it if you have thieves' tools. Or you could try to force them down.
I'm an alchemist. Not a thief. Let's see. Yeah, of course, Tally has them. I'll give it a shot. Do you guys have a preference on a door?
No, whichever one we do though, let's what's it called? Stack up on it. 1, 2, 3. Like breach. Like we're going breach.
Right.
Let's make sure we're on the area.
Okay.
Uh,
Go ahead and roll. What is thieves' tools? Is it a sleight of hand check?
as well
Yeah,
as
I
one.
think that's right.
Or dex check.
Go, do sleight of hand because that'll probably be a little higher.
Then Dex.
Sleight of hand is a skill.
Yeah. So he gets to add proficiency to it, maybe.
He tinkers with it for a bit. Doesn't seem to be able to do it. Sort of curses under his breath in Elven.
It is a giant lock. Gulbrand. I guess Gulbrand's gonna go and look at the look at Thrym over here.
Okay.
Like Davos was doing. He just wants to. Actually,
You can make
instead, since it's obvious that he's missing a weapon, Gulbrand will look around to see if he sees any a weapon that might, he's looking for whatever's missing
Make an investigation check.
or anything.
Can I offer advantage? Or
Sure.
do one as well?
Or you can roll yourself. Either one.
Roll yourself.
Sounds like Gulbrand's intelligence is not great, so.
Investigation.
Yes, sir. Davos, you take a look around the chamber and you don't see any weapons lying about. You gather from looking at the statue that it is a two-handed weapon. And given the way he's holding it, it appears, I don't know if you can see my hands. Given the way he's holding it, you gather that it's probably an axe. It's not like a great sword or something like that.
Harshnag, is there any, like, lore on each of these giants' weapons? Like, they're known.
Thurim is known to wield an axe as many of us frost giants do. And you, as he points around, most of them have a weapon that you would associate with it. He points to the hill giant, and the hill giant has a bone great club. The stone giant has a stone boulder, which I thought was underwhelming, but whatever. Surtur, the fire giant, has an iron greatsword. Memnor, the cloud giant, has a mithril spear. Stronmus, the storm giant, has an adamantine trident.
Try to hit. Hey, stop! Don't chew on that. Stop.
I'm sorry, they're crunchy. I love them.
Is there, like, an altar or anything where it looks like, hey, this is where we put our sacrifice?
Doesn't seem to be. The archway seems to have some type of significance, but you can't really gather precisely how it plays into the offering. Or if it does, for that matter. Devin, you're muted.
I'm bitching about my cat. She's like under my. You know what? This half of the D&D session is brought to you by this bitch under my fucking monitor.
I love that bitch.
Fucking... Yeah, there's her fucking eye. Can you see it? Oh, that's the HP.
It's the only part we see.
I'm gonna go up to the archway and
Okay.
maybe push, like, the tip of my rapier in. I know he already threw
Okay.
a rock, but, like,
It
and
hits.
then
About 4 inches behind the mist, it hits stone wall. If you tap it a couple of times, it sounds solid. Doesn't seem to be a passageway.
We can see the stone wall?
Can't see it per se. It is, but if you tap around with your rapier a bit, there's no point where it just goes through. It seems to be just a wall behind it. It connects to the mountain itself.
As far as what we see, it's not like a picture of trees behind it, like...
Just a nondescript glowing mist.
I guess I'll turn to Gulbrand. This seems as good an altar as any? Question mark.
I'm willing to give almost anything a try. He'll take the skull and guess I'll try to push it into the mist.
You watch as
Is that kinda what
flesh
you're after,
and
Davos? Is
hair
that what you're
begins to
thinking of?
wrap around the skull. No, I'm kidding. The skull hits the back of the stone, just like everything else. That would be cool, though. I'm gonna rewrite the adventure real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's the picture, but I see like this yellow globe on the All-Father.
He has like a lantern that is part of the statue. I think one of his hands is like it has fire coming out of it, but it doesn't seem to be magical other than the fact that it's produced by a produce magic spell or produce flame spell, similar to what Gulbrand was using on a larger scale.
What's in his other hand?
I think it's empty. I will double check to be sure.
Like waiting to receive something?
His arms outstretched. Nothing in it.
And that's like very high up in the air.
This one's pretty immense. This is 80 feet tall. Yeah. It's pea big.
Yeah, it's big.
The rest of the statues are about 40 feet, so they're taller than Harshnag is. I think he's 25-ish, 30-ish, right around there.
And we didn't see anything for the guy missing his thing.
Harshnag
Alright,
does
well.
say there are there are other chambers that may provide us more insight.
What? Yeah, they're all locked.
He points to the doors to the north and the south. The locked door was this blue door. These blue doors to the far left.
Yeah, these are not. I've not checked.
Correct.
I was under the impression that the orange doors is what I was trying to pick.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's my fault.
It's kind of confusing because they're all at the north or the south of the chamber, but
Right.
no, the double
Yeah,
doors are
same.
not locked.
Satori's like, flip a gold piece, north or south.
Do you want me to really flip a coin?
You can roll a d6 or something.
Yeah, roll it dice.
Even north, south, odd.
How about upper right? Doing it.
Upper right doing it hurts. Only my decision. Gulbrand wants to go in
Okay.
with Davos to make sure you don't go in alone, assuming we can get in.
About to say, you two can't push it open, but Harshnag comes over, and even he has a little bit of trouble with it. And as you push it open, you hear a cracking, and you see that there was ice on the back side of this door, similar to how the front door to this chamber had ice. This chamber, with the produced flame, seems to have just enough warmth to stave off the doors from freezing, but the other chambers do not have the same luxury. So you said upper right? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You come into an immense corridor. You see a flight of stairs to both your left and your right, a small hallway connecting you to the other door, and a hallway further down that you can't quite make out anything in at the moment. You guys can move your tokens along with where you're going, by the way. We'll just
I
leave.
guess keeping my eyes peeled. No surprises. I'm
Okay,
alert.
you can make a perception check if you'd like.
Can Gulbrand
For
do
intent-
his as well since he's going in? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't need it.
For intensive purposes, the the two that are not here and Harshnag are with you guys, but so I don't have to drag them around. I'm just gonna leave them there.
Yeah.
Okay, 19. You see that the stairs wrap around and lead up to another chamber, and I imagine that you come down a little bit, to see a little clearly, and you see a long corridor with several doorways. Goes on for quite some time. Hang on. There we go.
I will
If
I
you
will
look,
try to stick not right behind him, but he wants to stay close enough he can help him if something were to jump him.
yeah.
Sorry.
You come up and you look into like the first opening, and you see two large stone beds. they, of course, are giant size. These are colossal slabs of stone. It seems to be some type of bunkhouse.
What's this star-looking thing behind me?
Let me double check. Oh, and you do see this because you rolled high enough. Behind you is a statue of a... Oh, technically you were supposed to get a 20, but a 19 is close enough. Standing behind you is a statue of a life-size statue of a stone giant that Sirius will sort of bristle at. You gather it's magical in some way. His arms are lifted up and outstretched, with his palms facing down the hall. It is immobile. And it's about, I should probably say, it's about 20 feet up from the floor.
Bro, you gotta get a 20 to see that? I don't know. This dungeon.
It's kind of high up. I mean, granted, for a giant, it's at sort of eye level, but for you guys, it's up on the ledge.
What's up there?
And the beds were in these first, right here.
Yeah. And you look down, you see, looks like there's other beds, but you can't really make out much more.
And we can see the staircase that goes up?
Yes, sir.
I see.
Do you think up or down the hall?
They both go
I don't know.
up to a small landing, and then there's another flight that goes up.
Right. I mean, either that or we search every room for loot.
Yeah, I guess the real question is, do we want to go up and look and back and then come back down and look, or do we want to look in the hallway now and then go up?
Well,
we don't really know. We don't really know where anything is. So
how far can I ride this 19 on the perception?
You'd have to explore more of the bunkhouse. You'd have to explore further down. Same with upstairs. You'd have to wander further into to see the contents of them.
We're already here.
Since you said Harshnag's with us, is there any chances that there could be giants using these quarters? Tents? I don't know how Gulbrand would say.
He sort of rubs his beard for a second. It could be possible. But granted that the doors were frozen from the inside, I would believe that nobody has been here for quite some time.
You mentioned defenses. Do you think they would be in the living quarters?
Mayhaps.
Bastard.
I mean, he don't know. He's never been here.
Let's say he's never been here. Yeah, let's look now while we're here.
The other thing that's ringing in my head is Joey died apparently around this point. Maybe.
One more time?
Level 5-ish. Didn't you die around this point when y'all had run this adventure?
No comment.
Yeah. So just that's totally meta. But,
Well,
I am very nervous.
They brought me back. You'll be fine.
did you die? I thought you just dropped.
It dropped me. I think it would have killed me.
I see.
Not necessarily in
Just
this room, but in
completely
this
unrelated.
dungeon.
Where is Ember?
Perched on Bergen's
With
shoulder.
Bergen. Yeah, with Bergen.
Thank you for
I'd
remembering his
say
existence.
Unless y'all specifically want to go upstairs first, I'd be fine.
No, I
with it,
mean,
but since we're already
Since
here,
we're already down there, I think that's probably what they would end up doing.
Yeah.
They would scout that area first before going
So,
upstairs.
let me get 2 people to make perception checks. It can be one of the 2 who's not here if you would like. And we'll take it a room at a time and see.
Morgan's perspective.
Tally is a passive 19.
And Bergen's got a
roll
20.
20.
Okay. So we'll say that they take each side of the hallway and they walk down. The first set of rooms, nothing of note. You walk up to the second set. Nothing of note. The third set, we'll say Tally is on the right side. Tally finds 2 enormous mammoth tusks. They're very fine, perhaps left here. Not attached to a mammoth skull, but yeah. Also, Devin, will you add that to the bag of holding for me?
The mammoth skulls?
Mammoth tusks. Yes, sir. 2 mammoth tusks.
Okay, so we just collected them. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can leave them if you
That's
want,
fine.
but they don't seem to have a purpose here. They seem like they were forgotten.
Gulbrand wants to take a trophy off of that worm skull when he leaves. I forgot to do that.
Off of Wormblood.
Yeah, he's gonna pick a trophy.
So does this require another perception?
No. We'll just keep down the hallway. 'Cause they both have high enough passives to where I think y'all would see everything here. When you get to the next alcove or the next rooms, Bergen, you see this on your left. There is a fuck your goddamn.
Spear.
Yeah. Darkness covers the rooms.
You're all blinded.
All of the sudden.
You see a
vampires?
small, unnatural opening on the left side of the wall. It seems like it wasn't part of the architecture. It's too narrow for a giant to venture into. But it seems
Secret entryway.
I bring it to my compatriots' attention and maybe see if I can't coax some.
Let's see, I'm gonna come.
I wet the tip of my finger and stick it out to see if I feel it draft.
It's cold. I guess as
Well,
caves
damn,
do,
place
you
gotta be
do
cold.
feel a very faint breeze. There
It's
is.
big enough for us to walk through.
Yeah,
I know
you
it's
guys
small
can
for a
walk in
giant.
it, but but Harshnag cannot.
What about Sirius? Is he
Yeah, he can fit. Oh, he's not getting a vibe off it or anything.
okay?
Not a portal to the plane of ice.
What you think? Check it out.
I don't know that the things we're looking for could fit in theirs.
But you have to.
Would that
admit
be a-
curiosity is a No? No?
I feel like. I mean,
I could take it or leave it.
Stick to the
Yeah.
mission at hand.
I don't know.
It's
I
only
feel
three
like
of you,
Gulbrand
so
would understand that,
vote.
like, well, Gulbrand is afraid that things might live in there. Like, scary hole. Is it made of ice or is it made of rock? Like, does
It's made of. It's the mountainside. You gather. You know,
It
it's
is the
part of the
mountainside.
mountain. It has frost in it, but so does a lot of this chamber. So it's
And
a little hard to say.
Harshnag wouldn't be able to join us, correct?
Harshnag would not know. He's. It's just wide enough to where you guys can walk in single file.
so?
I'm good with leaving it too. I feel like
Uh,
maybe we'll come
Could
back
be
to
some-
it. How about that?
We could, on the
I
way
don't
out.
remember what that is. Like, Gulbrand is
Good,
afraid
that's
that
the
things
good
live
point.
there.
I don't think we explored it when we went through it.
That's just, I don't know. If I seen a fucking tunnel in a fucking abandoned mountain, I would be like,
I'd be
Oh,
leery
shit.
as fuck.
yeah, I'd be like, oh shit.
Right.
Spencer,
Definitely
I-
giant spiders
My
in there.
assumption is secret. entrance.
since
Secret entrance.
Since
Oh.
Bergen rolled a 20, I will say that he gets enough of an inkling to know that. Oh, I don't want to reveal that by accident. Give me 1 second.
That's funny, Spencer. My first thought also went to spiders. Giant fucking.
He, it's
Absolutely.
you know it goes on for quite some time. It might go all the way to the end of the mountain. It may branch off and connect to another part of the temple. It's kind of hard to say. Seems to be
Sure.
going toward the outside of the mountain. I'll say.
might
Seems to be.
be a good ways to get out.
I don't
Could
think
be.
any of us is too keen on going in there. At least not right.
Okay.
I think it's maybe worth coming back to if you think there could
Yeah.
be
Maybe.
what
But
is
like
the
you're
words you children's use?
Put a
Lucratives.
thumbtack in it.
Put a thumbtack in it.
Lucratives.
Okay. So, do you boys want to continue down the hallway? Go upstairs? Go back to the main room? What are you feeling?
I'd
Or
say
a
keep
couple more
going
rooms.
down
Okay.
the barracks.
So, the lot of you, including Harshnag and the party, continue down to the next area. And when you get to the next doorway, all of the archways seal up.
Here we
Stone,
go.
What?
line, stone
been waiting on
seals
this.
every side room. And before you, an immense 40-foot diameter sphere of solid granite comes out of the
Oh,
far
shit.
wall
Indiana Jones. Here
and
we go.
begins to roll towards you.
I forgot about this until about
So
10
what
minutes ago.
about-
I need
Behind
each of
us?
you to make a dex save. Harshnag
Dex
included.
save.
Okay, I guess that takes away that. Dex save +6. Don't fail me now.
Even with my advantage, it sucked.
Do you have
Why do you have
advantage for a
advantage?
reason? Or?
I can see it.
What?
Man, is that real?
I'm a barbarian. Yeah, advantage on dex Advantage on decks against effects that you can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Okay. Bergen? Oh, I'm sorry. Yours is up there. I see it. It just blended in with your 20. So, Bergen,
Jeez.
you see this coming at you, and you sort of slide into one of the small corners of the hall where it's not going to hit you. It's going to roll over. It's going to roll past you. So you make it fine. Brandon, you barely meet it. I need you guys to roll for Zatari and for Tally too for me.
Ooh, I got Zatari.
Gulbrand, you are less fortunate.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm thick.
Well, Tally is super quick.
Tally jumps over it, because fuck it.
Zatari.
Zatari.
He rides it to the end of the hall.
Zatari and Gulbrand, you take 55 bludgeoning damage.
Bro,
well,
what?
So, the good news is
55.
that doesn't outright kill any one of them. Zatari goes down. Gulbrand is not. He's still up.
He's stout.
All right.
What's your
well, I'm
HP
gonna-
total?
My HP total?
Yeah.
Like right now, or like? Oh, you mean the total?
Right now.
Total? Right now?
Yeah.
5.
Okay. So you took the 55 plus the damage that you took from the fight, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just want to make sure. So Zatari is down. You watch as the boulder hurls past you guys, and Harshnag sort of catches it, and it slides him back about 50 feet. I mean, it has a ton of momentum to it. And he calls over to see if you guys are okay. And realizing that you can't get out and he can't get around you, he backs up to the end of the hallway. And when he gets to the end of the hallway, the statue of the stone giant animates. It grasps onto the stone and begins to push it forward slowly.
Is the archway still covered?
The archways
Like
are still covered until the stone returns to its position, yeah.
I see.
I'm gonna immediately run to Zatari, lay on hands, 15 hit points.
Solid. All right.
All right.
I will-
Zatari has 15 hit points.
And seeing this stone thing pushing the boulder back, I want to run and see if there's anything behind where the stone guy was. Even if we have to run into the rooms briefly. So
Well, the
he
rooms
can
are still
pass.
sealed.
No,
Yeah,
for the
that's the
whole
problem.
hallway?
For the whole
Yeah,
hallway,
that's the
every
problem.
single one of
Oh,
them.
snap.
Um,
Alright.
You guys do manage, as the boulder's coming up, it's not coming very quickly. If you stand in its way, it's obviously going to crush you. But seeing what Bergen did earlier, you tuck to the corners. Gulbrand, you have a little bit of a harder time. It sort of grazes your shoulder and doesn't hurt a whole hell of a lot, but your
My non-broke shoulder.
non-broke shoulder, yeah, you are in rough shape. You're
Rip,
critical,
Gulbrand.
actually.
Yeah, man.
And
Not no law.
there we go. Is that for
Hell
Gulbrand?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys choose to exit, or are you sticking around for any reason, or?
I would actually say
Oh,
get out
God.
of this hallway as quick as possible. Said once the guy passes us, hightail it.
We all just
off.
start running back towards the end.
Probably a good call.
When
Like I
Bergen
said,
heals Gulbrand, he's gonna be like, "That is very much appreciate this." It's like I like to figure he's still pretty hurt. He has
And
to
if we
set his
can-
bones back.
Like I said, if we can get back in time to see if there was anything behind the star symbol guy.
There is not. It's up on a ledge, but Harshnag, if you ask, takes a gander. It just seems to be a little alcove designed for this stone statue.
Shall we short rest before going upstairs?
Uthgardt's fucking balls. I could use it. I literally was just run over by a boulders. That's what is a first.
So since we're here, what's the
Devin, this
rule
is
on
payback for fucking 5 years ago, you fucking cunt.
To be honest, I wasn't sure Gulbrand would make it through it.
instant death is half of your health over?
I think
Oh,
it's whole-
I
it's all
will.
of it.
Okay, so I will also do another thing for you guys. Ember could pick up Zatari, but then you would not have Ember for the rest of the day. If you would say, I'll say that it would have been at the bottom of initiative count. So if one of you still want to heal him, you can. But if you want to let
No,
Ember
I
be
don't
the
wanna
one to
use
pick him up.
Ember.
No, I feel you. Okay. I just
Yeah,
figured I'd
use
give you
that
the
lay
option.
on hands instead. All right, Gulbrand, you said short rest. Yeah, they're all huffing and puffing, and Gulbrand's like resetting dislocated shoulder. And
Yeah,
Shit
y'all
out here.
Short rest does not give you spell slots back, right?
not unless you're a warlock, yes sir.
yeah, not always.
Devin, that meme I sent you earlier is relevant.
Because
I didn't get to see it. Sorry, I was.
Gulbrand's at 21, Zatari's at 15.
I'll roll for Zatari's hit
Yeah, I was about
points.
to say Gulbrand's gonna roll some hit dice, and
If you guys, well, never mind.
Yeah, I guess if we're short rested, I won't use any more. So,
yeah, Gulbrand can use hit dice. He has quite a few.
Alright. So, short rest it is. I guess, what, an hour? I don't know.
18. Yeah, I think you are around an hour.
I'm 11 hit points. Do we have to
20?
decide how many we
Otherwise-
use before see our health? Or can I be like, oh, that wasn't enough, I'll use one?
Pop, pop.
No, I think you get to use them like as you can choose to use one more after. I think.
Yeah, I would allow you. You don't have to say 3 hit die and roll the amount. I'll let you do it until you use those up. Make sure you mark them off. But
Mhm.
So that's...
All right. I'm not looking as bad. As bad. I'm not bloody anymore. Definitely not critical anymore.
okay, so Zatari had to use 3.
Do so how does Zatari?
He's at full health after the short rest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he used 3 of his 6 hit die, so he's still listed as a level 5 character. I'll make a note to level him up or tell Josh to. I'll tell Josh to.
Yeah,
Is te-
'cause I guess technically he could have survived that without going down if he was level 6.
If he rolled really well, then yeah. But he only has a +2. It was 55.
He was at 46 when he got hit.
Well,
Gotcha.
his max is 44.
This is 59 on my sheet.
On Zatari?
Yeah.
It says 44 for mine.
Oh,
Is he level 6 on your sheet?
Nope.
That's
Did
weird.
you do tallies yet? I got him as 32 health. I don't know why.
32.
I don't know why.
See,
his-
mine
32
shows
total?
tally is 49 total. Oh, it does show him at 32 current.
yeah,
thir-
but he didn't take any damage.
From the boulder, yeah. So you can roll hit
But
die
he
from.
also,
Or I guess
he
you
also
can't, can you?
shouldn't have taken any damage during the fight, right?
Yeah,
There were
that
some-
32s
there
from-
was some
probably
axe
left
throwing.
over from
Oh, you're probably
it's
correct.
left
yeah.
over from the Yeti or whatever.
Yeah, because I can't
Well, I did long
adjust
rest
it.
to both of them after that. Are you sure he wasn't hit by a thrown axe or something?
I don't recall that he was, but doesn't mean was it?
Either way, put him at full health.
Okay.
You guys are good.
Yeah, I thought I had been keeping track. Okay, so he doesn't need to use any hit dice.
So you guys.
Now that I've refreshed Zatari's character, it shows him has a max of 44.
That's weird. You guys do have 3 choices. You have the tunnel, listed as 9 on your map. You have the stairs that lead up to 10, or you have the doors on the opposite end of the main chamber.
I'd say stairs.
Yeah,
Okay.
go
Right
upstairs.
here.
See what's up.
2 more boulders rolled out.
Go.
Oh,
Going
you
groans. Going groans. He has to
can
climb the
we-
steps.
Can we, I don't know, perception for traps? Tally?
You can. Go ahead and roll a, I think investigation is checking for traps. 14, okay. Tally very cautiously makes his way up the stairs. And at the top of the stairs, if you guys go to the right of your current map, you can see this. If you go to the right, or excuse me, as you go up the stairs, there is another statue. A stone giant statue about 20 feet up. He doesn't have to roll as high to see this one since he knows sort of what he's looking for. And more lines of bunkhouses. But what's different here is at the end of the hall, you see it is collapsed. So where the
Oh.
boulder emerged from, it is not, there's not the same entryway. There wasn't an entryway in the other one, granted, it melded through the stone. It's a magical effect, but There are more rooms to explore if you so wish.
Hells yeah.
Okay.
Gotta find more mammoth tusks.
2 more perception checks.
Alright, tallies
I
past
think Gulbrand
19.
might choose to stay at the end of the hallway this time. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, that boulder hurt. I don't blame him. Like, Zane somewhere is still crying. Like,
Ask your questions, I am not afraid.
Spencer, we can use your passive for this, which I have down as 17. Is that right?
Oh shit. It is, yeah.
Okay.
Tally
This one's
19.
a little less eventful, so I'll go ahead and reveal the whole space. You go down. First 2 rooms are empty. Next 2 are empty. And the third one, you find a large sack. Seems to be fuck off. Seems to be left here by a forgetful giant. It is made of stitched leather.
Can we open it?
You can. There is a cord tying it around, but you cut it loose. Open it. You find a few things. You find a wheel of moldy cheese. You find 10 feet of chain. And when you touch it, it stings a little
Kinky.
bit. It's frosty.
Stings?
Yeah, stings with a G. Yeah. It doesn't seem to be magical, but it seems to be just so cold that the iron that this is made of is just like, like licking a telephone pole or licking a metal pole.
It is just like regular iron, not like vibranium.
If you hold it up to it does. Well, you can tell it's not adamantine or anything fancy like that.
Okay.
You find a statuette of a drow male wielding 2 swords with a large cat-like beast beside him. You can roll a history check if you want to try to identify it.
Looks like
Oh, I know who
Valkyr.
that is.
Kind of do look like Valkyr.
Do you say you do know who that is, Spencer?
Yeah.
Roll a history check to see if you guys know in game.
Nope.
Valkyr's not
Nope.
with you.
I didn't have many conversations with Valkyr to get his lore down.
Go ahead and let Tally and Zat roll too. We'll see.
Well, I feel like Brandon would know when you say it.
God, y'all are
Bro.
dumb.
What?
Y'all don't know what happened
Wait,
yesterday,
no.
let alone.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
all
yeah,
dumped
yeah.
history.
Who is that? Is that
Yeah.
Zat? Oh no!
We don't
Y'all don't
study
know
the
what
dark.
it is.
We don't study the dark races where I'm
Oh wow! Somewhere Valkyr is like racist fucking motherfucker. Well, when you bring it back home, Valkyr will be able to
Valkyr
tell
could
you that it's Drizzt. It is a drow hero, and the statue itself is worth 100 gold pieces.
Dritstro or
You also find
I think that's how you say that.
three severed, frozen dwarf heads. And you rolled high enough on your perception check. No, you... but your passive is high enough. Thank you, yeah. Your passive perception is high enough to where you see that one of the dwarf heads has 10 gold teeth that you can sell. There is also a long piece of stone that is light blue in color, and it has a rune carved into it, the ice rune that Harshnag pointed out to you earlier. This is a shard of the ice rune, and while you don't know what it does yet, Sirius definitely is picking up a good bit of a magical vibe. I love that you guys have Sirius, because I can tell you something is magical, but y'all don't have to like know the details of it, because you don't get to with the tech magic anyway. It would just tell you the school.
Mhm.
But
Is it something needs to be identified?
yeah, you could identify it, or you could use it or keep it on your person and attune to it for a period of time. I think you need to attune to it. Let me double check that.
Cold as ice.
It's as cold as ice.
I was about to say,
Devin, are you
as a
looking up
bard,
shit?
I know that song.
Devin, are you being meta?
No, that's literally just making the joke, the song joke.
Wow,
Confused
really?
He actually knows.
Holy
Yeah, no,
shit.
that's all about the joke. I don't have a fucking clue what that does.
It does require attunement. Okay.
Unless
Well-
any of you have a strong preference to try to attune to it, I wouldn't mind holding it.
That's all you.
Okay.
Because Zatari's already got a frost one, right?
He has a frost rune on his leg, yes.
Right,
This is
right.
something a little different, but yeah. Nothing else of note in the upper chamber.
Would I be able to tell if it was cursed?
You could make an Arcana check or a Religion check. I will allow.
I was about to say I do have not that it would work. Detect good and evil.
You could try if you would like.
Would that actually be able to determine that? I'm looking for where it's at. Is it a feature? Bergen should have it too, I think.
What's this? Detect good and
Detect good and evil. It's like a paladin.
He's a cleric, though.
Divine sense. As an action, you can detect good and evil. You can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location.
He's talking about his paladin sense.
Divine sense.
Yeah.
Would that even apply there?
I do not think it would tell you if an object is cursed or not. But, before you go wasting any of your abilities, Harshnag looks at it. No, I am familiar with some such magics. Yeah, it is not uncommon in the ancient days of Astoria for powerful giant spellcasters to use these runes not only on weapons, armor, and jewelry, but to enchant shards of stone with them, so that they may be used in many different capacities. I could not tell you what this one does, but I do not believe it would be the type of thing to be cursed.
Sweet. Good enough for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna play with it while we're walking through the halls to attune to it.
Okay. It takes an hour, so I don't think you'll know today.
That's fine.
But, you guys check the rest of the rooms. There's nothing of note. You come back down. You can go either south through the main chamber, or you can go check out the tunnel to the west.
Tunnel to the west.
The small, narrow human tunnel. Human-sized tunnel. Not human tunnel. Humans burrowed this, I can tell.
I'd say south doors. Save that chamber for last, right?
Yeah, just in case maybe it...
Same thing. The doors don't give at first. Harshnag has to put a good bit of force behind it before it's willing to burst open. And let me reveal this all real quick. The double doors that lead to this room are coated in ice. After bursting your way through, you find a room that is 240 feet wide and 440 feet deep, with a 200-foot wide alcove in the center of the east wall. 6 pillars, each 20 feet in diameter and 60 feet tall, support the vaulted ceiling. The room is warm, dry, and brightly lit. The source of the light, and the heat, is a raging fire contained within a bowl-shaped basin in the center of the chamber. Arranged around the fire pit are 6 tables carved out of granite, with matching benches, and 2 9-foot-tall stone slabs stained with blood and grease. Atop the southernmost slab are neat stacks of plates and goblets made of beaten copper, all green and black with age. The stacks of plates and goblets on the northernmost slab have been knocked over, creating a mess. Perception checks? Or investigation?
There's a fire?
Over
There
there
is a fire.
Passives?
You said there's a... I was about to say, you said there's a fire.
There is a
if
fire.
you want to roll for tallies. Does that mean this room is not as frozen?
This room is warmer. It still says there's ice on the doors. I don't get what that's about,
Okay.
but that's what the book says.
I feel you.
You guys walk in and look around, and Tally, fairly quickly, spots a large axe on a table on the far side. He also sees a large, blue, coiled centipede-like creature
Thank God he saw it.
with red spines down its back and clutching the wall just above the doorway. You hear a blood-curdling screech as this creature lurches from the doorway at the last person in the marching order, which in this case is Harshnag, so you're welcome. Dozens of insectoid legs rise to thick, chitinous plates that cover the entirety of this 40-foot monster. Dimly glowing red spikes run the length of its back, and 2 massive pointed spines emerge from its neck, ending in glowing, gaping spiked maw. Which ends in a glowing, gaping spiked maw and unblinking compound eyes beneath 2 lengthy antennas. As the cool air seeps in from the temple, it hisses and causes steam to rise off this nightmarish creature that now stands between you and the exit.
Do you have a picture of it?
I do.
I love these things. Gulbrand may not be feeling good, but Devin wanna fight it.
Bruh.
It's also just as
man.
big as Harshnag.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's a really cool picture somewhere of a frost giant fighting one of these in one of the books.
Mm.
Hypothetically, could this centipede fit in like that number 9 cavern thing?
No. Far too large. The cavern, that cavern is 5 feet wide at most. More often, it's a little. You guys would have to squeeze through it at times. We're gonna say that Tally was leading you guys over this way. It waits till you guys get inside. Oh, actually, Gulbrand was back one. Or it leaps at you guys. He sees it, so it doesn't get a surprise round, but he couldn't really see it well enough to not. He couldn't see it without walking into the chamber. It is midnight. We can either start this encounter and pick it up next week, or we can call it a night here. I'll leave it to y'all.
I'm probably gonna have to tap out. I'm pretty whooped.
Oh,
I've been chugging coffee.
What a bitch.
Yeah, I have to dance too. I gotta be up
Yeah.
at 7 tomorrow, unfortunately.
That's okay. We'll start next week with your first fight with a Rimmer Haze.
Yeah, I forgot about that
Easy.
bitch till you revealed the room, and then I was
Saw
like,
that blacked out
wait,
square.
what? Not even the blacked out square, just the map of the room and the fire in the middle. I was like, wait.
Fucking Gandalf, I have no knowledge of this place. Oh no. Whoops. The reason that square is there is because it technically it has an image of the creature on the map, which I hate. Because if you were moving around the map at all, or if it moves around the map at all, then there's still one there. And it does have tremor sense. So as soon as you guys entered the main chamber, it was aware of your existence.
Oh shit.
These things are fucking neat.
They're
I
kind
wish
of
Gulbrand
terrifying.
wasn't hurting so bad. Yeah, it's fucking fun.
When I
I'm
said you would,
excited.
when I said you would need Ember, this is exactly the time that you will need Ember.
wow.
They're gonna have fun.
Nah, they're fucking
Well,
cool.
it's not a
Like,
giant, so I know I'm not going down. So. He said,
They might have a higher CR than a giant. Let me see.
they're scurry. I think it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, they're pretty big.
Shoot,
They're
I'm
harder
gonna
than any.
have a
They're
few-
stronger than any giant you've seen so far,
Jeez.
including
Including
Harshnag,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I was about to say like it's
Including Harshnag.
for a frost giant to fight one, like they're considered to be like you're a badass giant if you can tangle one of these things. Like
Damn.
they're so cool. One of my favorite monsters. I can't wait.
What's it called
I'm
again?
so excited.
A Remmer Haze.
Remmer Haze.
It's spelled kind of funky, but
Where's the? I want to find a picture of the frost giant fighting the Rimmer Haze.
with that, my dudes, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. Had a fun time. Glad you guys
Yay.
got a bit of combat, a bit of traps, and saw the well, I won't say too much, but pretty big fucking creature. This is the
Glad
point
you
of the
got
video
to-
game where you're like, I really hope this is the boss and not the mini boss. Like,
I'm glad
Agreed.
you got to roll me over with your stone.
me
That's
too.
pretty neat.
It healed me spiritually.
Yeah, I mean, turnabout's fair play. There's that picture I was talking about.
Pretty
Let me
cool.
see.
5 icy monsters to use in your campaign.
Yeah, I didn't follow the link. I just
Oh,
went and
yeah.
found the picture. So that's in a book somewhere. I don't know. Like maybe it's the.
But do you see how long this thing is? Even as tall as giants are, this thing is enormous.
Ugh.
More like a millipede.
And I think maybe there and whatever book that's out of, I think it mentions that like there are some very few giants that try to to tame them, to get young ones and steal them away and tame them. But
Jeez.
I don't think that's, as far as I'm knowledge, that's not relevant to this the adventure. That was just something that was in that book. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Fuck that.
Oh yeah.
Giant
shit.
riding one of those in a battle.
And it's you guys gather. I mean, these spines are producing heat. This is
Yeah.
oddly a
It's hot.
creature of both fire and ice. It's a weird blend.
But ice was on the door still?
Yeah, the book has it like that.
Welcome to
Alright.
5e.
I mean, it's not emitting so much heat to where it
I
hurts
get it.
you like from a distance, but you gather if you get close enough, it's gonna be like, getting too close to a fire. We'll go ahead and wrap it up there, my dudes. So glad we were able to have session tonight. Thank you for rescheduling. I was gonna be really bummed if we had to wait a whole nother week to start this temple. And now next week
Same.
you'll have more time to talk to the Oracle and do shit that you want. So
We'll see how this fight goes.
those of
Yeah.
you that survive will be able to ask the Oracle some questions.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. I had to. Well, I'm not gonna say anymore. Love you,
Thank
dudes.
you.
Be good. Stay safe. And is it Friday yet? Yeah, Friday.
Hey,
See you next week.
later,
Later.
y'all.